I'll not worry about introductions and hellos to everybody, but they all know it's a little bit different today. See, one of the things I do want to try and do is turn, if I can. Have I just killed the room? Oh, that's okay, that's good then. Okay, not quite sure how to turn that off. Leave it on. Okay, let's just jump on and see who we've got. As far as I know, everybody's in, but we'll obviously some of them might not come on until nearer 9 o'clock. So we've got Mitchell's in. Number one's just joining. Got Dan and Borky. Dan's in. Borky's in. Got Ollie. He's in. And his partner, PO664H, whoever that is, I'm not quite sure, in the Ferrari. So I've only got 1458 Italia in. Oh, is that Reno, is it? Ah, okay. And I'm waiting for Lag and Danu in the Fords. I think we've got M33 FDY, but he's not in it, so I'll have to get him out in a minute. I've got William and Blinky in the Lamborghini. So we haven't got any Lamborghinis in at the moment. Got a couple of McLarens and a couple of Porsches. So Mr. Excel's in. Greg's in. We've still got a few people to grab yet. Yeah. Ollie's got the pink livery tonight. No. I will be. I'll be calling his name out till he crashes, and then I'll laugh. Oh, we got no game sound again. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Guys, I've got a technical issue. I'm just going to need to restart my PS5. I'll just be back in a minute. Okay, let's see what happens. Come on. Okay, I think we got it back now. I know why it's going to be. I know why it's going to be. Okay, hopefully that is now working. Seems to be. Seems we get somebody in. Okay, I think we're good now. I think that's now working. But I've now got the added problem now of trying to get the chat room open. So I'm going to have to do that via my phone. Okay, right, so. Okay, let's have a little look and see where we're at, because I can't see the chat room now. It's just trying to connect at the moment. Well, I'm trying to join the party at the moment, but it's yeah, proving interesting right now. We'll just worry about that in just a minute. Hello. Oh, I'm back at long last. Yeah, that was got a bit interesting. I know what the issue is now, at least. Proving it. Whenever I join a chat, it kills the game sound on my stream. And it's weird because it used to work fine. But something's going a bit wobbly with it. Let's just do a quick check of who we've got in the room. We're just in a practice mode at the moment, so we've got plenty of time. So we got we grab that, copy that down into there. So we got Greg's in. Danny C, I'm just going to do a quick check while you guys are doing what you're doing. There's Danny C, Gamer Dan. Volume Wills. William is in. Lag is in. I don't know if you guys need to send any more party invites out. I'll have a look at that in a minute. See if there's anybody else I can find. Danny's got to be Dan Yu, I would imagine. Ben Block. Ben Block is in the Hurricane. That's got to be Blinky, I'd imagine. Exile's in there. Mitchell 77's in the Audi. Hulky's in the 4C. Number 1 is in the Audi. So I reckon. So I think we're only waiting for Reno and Nix at the minute. Otherwise, we've got everybody as far as I am concerned, which is good going. Okay. There are a lot of germs kicking around. Tell you what, when I was in hospital, you wouldn't believe the people who were coming in with flu. They were overrun with them. Okay, all right, so we're all good. Lecroutier needs to. Lecroutier isn't part of this, is he? No. Oh, I know. Oh. That's why I was going to do a. I was going to do it as a private. Yeah, I know. I was going to do it as a private thingy because I thought that you could put a password on the lobbies now. I thought that was a thing on the in the latest update, but I'll be blowed if I could find it. So there we go. It's all good. Right, so. Yeah, yeah, like the room ID you can share. I thought there is a maybe it was PMR or maybe it was ACC. Yeah, one of them's really good. You can actually give out a password, and it's so much easier for people to, for hosts, they can lock it down, and that way only the right people are going to come in. And rather than me sitting here doing admin, I can be arranging things with you guys and making sure we're ready to go and everything else. But at the minute, it is what it is. It is what it is. Exactly. Oh, I miss parts of ACC. It was really, really good. But unfortunately, it wasn't great for some of what we need to do. Hey, Nix is in. So I think we're just waiting for... Yeah, I need to get back into PMR, but not being well, I'm not doing anything with that until I'm done. I'm going to end up kicking M33 in a minute because he's doing my head in. If these guys don't leave. If he's causing a problem, I'll just boot him. M33 FDY is one of the new guys that's racing with me in my lobbies at the moment. So a lot of them are getting a bit confused because they're seeing me online, and then they're thinking, oh, that they can race. So the Crouchier needs to go as well. The thing is, if I kick them, then they won't be able to get into my lobby later on unless I close the lobby down and restart it. So I don't really want to kick them if I don't have to. But there we go. Have we got everybody in the chat room? Do we know? Okay, cool. Yeah, the problem is I don't have everybody on my friends list, so it's a bit difficult for me to pick up everybody. No. It's different tonight. I'll go through that with you in a short while, but no, it's no mandatory tyre tonight. Oh, we've just given it away now, haven't we? We've just given it away. It was going to be a great race with everybody going around on slicks. Okay, Gamer Dan and Borky B are in their own chat room, but they'll be listening in via the my stream, so there'll be about 20 seconds behind, but there's no cautions or anything in this one, so that will be fine. Now, how do you mean, are we still stuck on tyres? Right, weirdly, I seem to be in 2 chat rooms here. How the heck can I have done that? No idea. Won't worry about that. So, if I mute myself and I start talking, let me know if you can still hear me. Right, so I'm muted now. Hopefully nobody can hear me. Sounds like they can't, which is all good. So, right, you didn't hear me then, did you? Right, I said, do you want me to mute myself while I'm commentating during the race, you guys? Is there anybody that would like me to mute? Oh, it's all quiet. I will be talking about tyres, strategy, how people are doing and all that stuff, so I could give a little bit away. But, okay. That'll be fine. Just don't panic when I go, oh, somebody's in the lead, and then crash. I'm very good at doing a Murray Walker. Yeah. I did that with Paul William all week. I've been willing him to be on the podium, and I kept jumping on with him and following him. And every time I jumped on, he overshot or crashed. And then there was a race last night. Every time I went on him, I went, no, I'm coming off. I'm not going to mention his name. And he got a podium. So there you go. If anybody, I don't want you on the podium, you know I'm going to be following you around. I'll be following the action, so I will not be picking on anybody in particular. Right, we've got 5 minutes, guys. And the only one we haven't got is Reno in the Ferrari. Is Ollie in the chat room? Have you heard anything from Reno, mate? Right, brilliant. Okay, that's cool. Oh, is he in now? I've missed him. Ah, brilliant. So we got a full complement then, haven't we? I think that's everybody. Magic. Cool. Well, if we can get this one underway at 9 o'clock, that will be really good. It's a shame Rita and I have had to pull out. Both got health problems at the minute that really meant we couldn't race. So, yeah, I did it last week. It absolutely killed me. So I did this one last week, and then I did the half-hour race, and I spent Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday trying to recover. So I'm not going to do longer races until I'm fit again now. Yeah, well, I had a lumbar puncture, and which I've got a 3-month recovery from what's called a dural tear. So the membrane in my back I've ripped, so I'm leaking spinal fluid. So that's a 2 to 3 month repair apparently. But I've also got really bad lower back pain from where they were pummeling my back, trying to get the needle, because they couldn't get it through my spine. They tried 4 times to do this blooming lumbar puncture thing. It's bad enough once, and one of the nurses just kept hitting my bone all the time, and then she caught a nerve and I nearly jumped through the roof. Yeah, once my back is better, I'll be all right. Yeah, I think it's similar to that. So what they had to do, they had to go in and drain off some of the spinal fluid to check for cancer, meningitis, and a whole load of horrible things. But they were looking at the pressure, and my pressure was low. So basically what that means is it's affecting my brain, which explains why I was struggling to concentrate at work. Sometimes I'll have the same discussion with people 3 times and not realise it. And I had a visual issue where I went blind for about 2 or 3 minutes as well, which was one of the big signs. So yeah, got to be a bit careful. So that's one of the reasons why I've dropped out. And I think most of you in TCS will know Rita's going through some difficult times too at the moment. So we both decided it was best to pull out and get ourselves well. Right, you got just over a minute, guys. So I think we've got everybody in. Hopefully Dan and Hulky will be listening. And so we've got no cautions in this one. Obviously normal rules apply. So if you do bump somebody and you wreck their race, Hulky likes you to drop back and race with that individual. Obviously rubbing is racing, but just keep an eye on the radar, and if something weird happens, just be aware of that. And just be aware of netcode as well, guys, because although you might not have hit somebody, netcode could deem that you have. So if you're alongside somebody and somebody spears off, there's a fairly good idea that you have actually connected. So if you could keep that one, keep aware of that. Obviously no caution, so it's green from go to the end. I think that's pretty much all of the rules. We got wet race, as people were saying a minute ago. So you do not have to use all of the tyres. It's up to you what you use. We've got a 10-minute qualifier, which I'm going to kick off in just a moment. And then we've got a 50-minute race. So can I just do a roll call? Mitchell, are you ready? Mitchell might not be in the chat. I don't actually know how many we've got in the chat. So would it be better to do? Let's do an R on the. Can you give me an R on the chat if you're ready? Because I've got people. Yeah, I've got people spread all over the place at the minute. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Dan's ready is 5. Greg's ready 6. Nick 7. Mitchell 8. Will's 9. I think that is going to be of the guys. Ollie's in. Will's has just said okay. Lag. I'm not seeing lag for the moment. Oh, yep, I've got him. Yep, I've got Danny as well. Danny 84's in. Nick's is in. Ben. Not seeing Ben's in. So we've got most of the guys in. Is Exile in? Yeah, already. Okay. Right, if we're ready then, we'll get the quali underway. I'm just going to put a note out here. I'm going to start the qualifier at 3 minutes past the hour. So please select your tyres that you want a qualifier on. So 21:03, we'll get the quali underway. And you guys are okay for me to commentate during the race, so I'll stay live all the way through with you. Oh, you know me, lag. I'll be giving away all of your secrets, mate. The braking points and turning points, which tyres you should be on. Ooh, I haven't checked that out yet. Right, let's. Ah, nice. Nice. Right, so in this one, we have got racing. Greg White in the Porsche, Danny in the McLaren, Gamer Dan in the 4C, Ollie in the 458 Ferrari, Wheels in the Hurricane, Lag is in the Ford GT, Danny's also in the Ford GT, Nix is in the 911 Porsche, Ben Block in the Hurricane, Mr. Exile in the McLaren, Mitchell in the Audi R8, Borky's in the 4C, Number 1 Pops is in the R8 LMS, Reno in the 458. It is 3 minutes past. We are ready, guys. Good luck. The qualifying is starting now. Good luck, everybody. Let's put some replay options open. You'll be about, somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds behind me, probably, if you're watching on the stream. I have a pretty strong connection here, so it's normally fairly close. Oh, we tucked up behind Ollie in the pink Ferrari. He's had to go pink. Somebody do me a favour and ram Ollie off. Greg, triple, mate, triple. I'm running this. Oh dear, I've started already. Hulky will never ask me to cover again. Oh God, I tell you what, you shouldn't say that. With my brain the way it is, anything could happen. I wouldn't be surprised halfway through if I push a button that says cancel the race. No, stranger things have happened. Oh, so we've got Danny C's leading away at the moment. He's in the Peaky Blinders McLaren. Dan is in the black and red 4C. They've changed, in case any of you haven't realised. They were in the Corvette for the first race. They've changed to the 4C. So Hulky's got everybody in mid-engine cars now. Lag is in the Ford. Being chased by Reno. He's in the Ferrari. Wheels is in the Hurricane. Some of the guys are in similar liveries. Some of them different. As you can see there that Wheels is in a blue and green. And then Ben is in a black, white and red. And I must apologise to Ben Clock because I guarantee I'm going to refer to him as Ken Block in this because I do it all the time. Ollie in the Ferrari, as we said. Nix in the Porsche, red, white and blue one. Mr. Exile, he's also in the Peaky Blinders McLaren. So you better watch those guys when they start getting the guns out, shoot your tyres. You know what they're like. Annie in the second of the 2 Ford GTs. And then Greg in the Porsche, black and green. Number 1 Pops in the Audi R8, the yellow and white car. Borky in the Dicky Bird Racing 4C. That is their livery that the Gamer Dan and Borky are running. And then Mitchell in the Audi in the Brembo sponsored red, white and blue. So we've got a few red, white and blue cars. And at the moment, we're still waiting for the guys to come around to see what sort of lap times we're chasing. They're on their flying laps at the moment, as we just watched Danny coming up towards the tight right-hander. Tight left-hander into the right-hander. Then they'll be going up the hill towards the chicane. All important to get through there cleanly on the power to the right-hander and then on the start-finish straight. So we're just showing Danny out front at the moment, the first of the cars on track. So he's got Mitchell just in front of him, but we'll stay with Danny to see what sort of time we're chasing. Outlaps of a 1:55 means absolutely nothing as he goes through the chicane there, looking for his brake mark, slowing it down. McLaren looking really, really nice and planted. He's going to come across the line and we'll see what he's chasing, and then it'll all get a bit busy from there. So 1:57.3 we're chasing. Gamer Dan is going to come across with a 157.6, but Lag goes slightly faster with a 157.4. So it's still Danny at the moment. Wheels just bumps him off into second. So Wheels with a 157.274 at the moment. And on the front row with Danny C at the minute, with Lag and Gamer Dan on the second row. Ollie and Reno on the third. But that doesn't mean anything. We've got a long way to go. We've got 4 minutes of quali to go. There will be a lot of changes, I would imagine, as Greg now hits the front with a 157.1. So we're looking for the first car in the 156s now. So who is going to be the first to break the 156? Greg and Wheels on the front at the moment, and then Danny and Lag just behind. We've obviously got Danny C and we've got Gamer Dan, so during the commentary I'll probably refer to Danny and Gamer, just so that you know the two that we've got. So we've got two Brits on the front row, followed by Danny, the American, Lag, German, and then we've got Gamer Dan, South African, and then a bunch of Union flags behind. So, can anybody do anything to split the two Union flags at the front there? Let's see if we... Oh, Lag's in. Looks like he's coming in for a change of tyres. The racing soft's burning out quite a fair bit in this. I would imagine that he's probably not going to take on any fuel. It'll just be a quick tyre change and out. Danny C now goes fastest with a 157.093. So he's pushing the 156, but unfortunately not quite able to break that magic mark at the moment. But as the fuel comes down and we get on the new soft tyres, I imagine that will happen. We've got Lag, Ollie, Reno all in for tyres. Greg's in for tyres as well. So they're all diving in the tyres with, what, just over 4 minutes to run. Sorry, just under 4 minutes to run, 3.5 minutes to run. So they'll be looking to get an outlap and a flyer. A lot of these guys hoping that their final set of tyres is going to give them the advantage and the opportunity to get into the 156s. I think we will get 2 or 3 156s. The big question will be who's going to be first. How brave are they going to be? Danny's being brave. He's all over the gravel there, kicking up the dust. Using all the track limits as he chases down Mitchell. Tell you what, those McLarens don't submarine under braking. They are super flat. So we've got a bit of a, we've got Ben, Lag and Ollie all quite close together on track at the moment. Just a reminder to the guys that we are qualifying at the moment, not racing, so hopefully they will find themselves some space and then they will go for another run. So is Danny still out front at the moment? Danny into the pits. He's left that very tight to get around for a fast lap. There will be an overrun, of course, but I think you've got to be over the line for that overrun to kick in. So I think Danny's going to have to really get a wriggle on. He's a 157.093 and our fastest person on track. As I say, that Wheels does break the 156 by some margin, 0.2 of a second, a 156.790. What a lovely, lovely lap time from the man in the Hurricane. Showing that the Lamborghini is a car to be reckoned with around here. Sun shining at the Hungaro ring. Using all of the track and a little bit more there. Looking for every little opportunity to open up the corners. Get the power down early and see if he can bring that lap time down anymore. I imagine there will be others that will be jumping into the 156s as well. If that is the only 156, I will be very surprised, and will be jumping up and down for joy. He'll think he's won the race. And then he's got to do it all again. Not quite sure how many laps we're going to be getting around here. Quite a fair few. Somebody out there will do the summers for me, no doubt. Mind you, with a 2-minute lap, it's going to be around about 25 laps, isn't it? 25, 26 laps, something like that. All wheels deep into the gravel there. See what I said? Whenever. That is the commentator's curse. He's had to bail out of that one now. Oh, we've got Danny, I think, has picked up a half-second penalty. So he's thrown that run away. Clearly pushing the track limits to try and get on terms with Will. So he's not going to have that opportunity. He's 0.3 away at the moment. But half-second penalty around here hurts a lot. We've got Laggy's in and Danny's in the pits as well. So we'll see. I don't know whether they'll be coming out. And then, of course, you've got the question of what tyres people are going to start the race on. Where will they need to change? Where will the rain come? We know that rain is coming. I was going to keep it quiet, but the cat is out the bag. Hopefully they've all got the rain tyres. If they haven't, it's a bit late now. So now they'll be thinking about getting their lap times. We've got a few penalties that are dropping whilst people are trying to get their lap times down as soon as, or as low as they can. Greg White, 2 wheels in the dirt as well. There's a few people really pushing it on that corner just to try and get the power down for the long drag up to the chicane. Will he jump the curbs or will he take it nice and easy? Just see the Porsche dipping under braking there. Nicely across the chicane. No worries for Greg. Comes around the final corner. Let's see what he can put in. He's chasing a 156.7. Is there anything he can do? He's looking for 0.4 of a second. He can. He goes 156.772. That is close between the two guys. 18 thousandths of a second between Wills and Greg. And Wills, I'd love to know what his delta times are. We're going to find out in the moment if he's done enough as he comes to the line. He was really pushing it earlier on. Can he go any quicker? Oh, just slightly off. That is... Oh, close, close, close. Wills, there is a silver lining. It does mean that you can follow Greg through the first corner and not worry about where to brake. You just got to worry about everybody else piling in behind you now. Oh, is that Greg saying he's going to sandbag off the line? Oh. Right, it looks like most of the guys have finished their laps, so they're just circulating at the moment. It looks like it's going to be Greg and Wills on the front row, Danny C and Lag on row number 2, and Gamer Dan and Ollie on 3, followed by Reno and Danny 84, and then number 1 and Exile, Ben Block Mitchell. Will go through the running order in just a moment. Rita says, please wish them good luck from me. I'm watching with my popcorn. Ooh. Right. Right. Right, I am going to start this one at 20 past to give you guys plenty of time to have a drink, go to the loo, and remember your tyres, guys. Remember your starting tyres. So we have got Greg White and Wills are going to be leading us away on the front row. Really, really tight between Greg and Wills. Wills just losing out by the smallest of margins. Danny C and Lag on row number 2. Then we've got Gamer Dan and Ollie will be on row number 3, followed by Reno and Danny 84. Number 1 Pops and Exile on the next row in 9 and 10. Ben Clock and Mitchell will be lining up behind them with Hulky and Nix on the last row. But don't count anyone out in this. Anything could happen. You know, it can be fun and games down into the first corner. Where will you pick your braking points? And of course, all 3 tyres available here. So you could well have people starting on softs and some starting on hards. And we could have some very different braking points going into the first corner. So you can lose a race. It's very difficult to win a race in the first corner. Just to keep that in mind for anybody that is not a racer. That is what they often say. So will be very, very interesting to see how we go. Wills is just saying to Ben Clock, there is no I in team. So gonna want to race together. So it sounds to me as if off the line, Wills is potentially going to sandbag right the way down to 11th to work with Ben. Somehow I can't see that happening. I think the Wills is going to want Ben to catch up. We shall see. Oh, the mind games, they are starting already. They are starting already. It didn't take us long. With me commentating, I think the chat is going to be very, very quiet. Just under a minute, guys, just under a minute. I'm going to be pushing the go button when the clock ticks over to 20 past the hour, and then we will be racing full 50-minute race. There will be weather, well, there should be weather towards the end of the race. When it will come, who knows, but it will be coming. Some people will probably have done the calculations to work out roughly when, but the weather will be coming. So unusually for this series of races, you do not need to run all compounds. The big question is, what compound do you run off the start line? Could be very, very interesting. Right, it's 20 past. Good luck, everybody. Just going to go through the order one quick time, and then we will be getting going. It's going to be Greg White, Wills Racing, followed by Danny C, Lag. Then Gamer Dan and Ollie, followed by Reno and Danny, 84. Then number 1 Pops, Mr. Rexile, Ben Clock, Mitchell, Hulky and Nix. Those are your runners. We're running in pairs. Good luck, everybody. We are going racing. Here we go with the mind game. Somebody's got wet tyres on already. They're expecting the wets at the beginning of the race. Well, I'm pretty sure that will not happen. So we'll go on board with Greg White off the line. Lights are flashing. He's ready to get going. We are, in a moment, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing in the sunshine at the Nürburgring. Again, we're going to have a different tyres, one would imagine, into the first corner. I'm not looking at the tyres. We'll see. Wow, we're going 3 wide into the first corner. Oh my gosh, close your eyes. Don't blink. Oh, there's cones flying. We're still 2 by 2 for the first couple of corners. My goodness me, how did they all get through there? How on earth did they all get through there? They're certainly not leaving anything on the table, nothing to chance. They want to hit the front. Whoa, Greg going really deep into that corner. I wonder if there's not a track limit on that corner. I will not know. This track would be so different with a track limit there. Whoa, Greg White with a big old slide. Showing the back end to Ollie there. Come and get me, he says. Ollie's saying, yeah, I'm right here. I'm going to come and get you. I'm just biding my time. Don't you worry. Greg White going down into the bottom hairpin. Brakes glowing on that Porsche. Lovely line through there, and another slide with the Porsche. The Porsche seems to have a very loose back end compared to many of the other races that we're watching in the view at the moment. Oh, I hear a little oh no. Somebody getting onto the grass. Yeah, see a bit of dust there being kicked up by one of the front runners. Just on board with Lag in the Ford. The Ford, I didn't think that would have a loose back end, but that's moving around a little bit too. And Lag, deep onto the Astro there, and 2 wheels onto the gravel there. We got somebody calling out medium tyres could be a bit of a mistake, but there's a lot of people on the medium tyres in this one. Very, very close as we go into the chicane there. Danny C, Wheels and Lag just concertinaing up a little bit. That's enabled Exile to just close up a little bit in the Ferrari there, but it is Greg White as we come across the line to finish lap number 1. He's 0.3 ahead of Ollie, who's 0.7 ahead of Gamer Dan, then 1.5 back to Danny, 0.3 back to Wheels, 0.4 to Lag, 0.1 to Exile. They're all running really close together. Then Reno is just 2 seconds back. Number 1 Pops is in a race with Reno. He's just 0.3 behind, and as you can see, pretty much pushing Reno through there. Ben Block a little bit further back with Danny 84 right on his back bumper, and Mitchell's in the mix at the back here too. There's a heck of a battle going on at the back here for 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and possibly even 14th. Borky going for a move around the outside of Mitchell. I don't think he got that done. No, he tucks in behind. So the 4C having a little look. We know the 4C is going to be good on tyres. Oh, I think Borky possibly got into the back of Mitchell there. I'm not quite sure, but Mitchell's gone around. Not sure whether that was all on his own or not, but that was the first of the incidents that has left Mitchell well down the field at the moment. Up front though, Greg White, Ollie and Gamer Dan very close together. But Ollie picks up a half-second penalty. That's going to drop him back into the clutches of Gamer Dan and also into the clutches of Exile, that's just lurking off the back of this front group of 4 cars at the moment. Greg still out front, Ollie in second for the moment and Dan in third. So Ollie's going to be wishing that Gamer Dan can get on his back bumper and they can actually pull away from the guys behind, because he needs to try and cover off that half-second penalty. That will not be served for another half a lap. So Ollie just looking like he's letting Gamer Dan go through there. That looked like an orchestrated pass. They're not teammates, so I don't know quite what's going on there, unless Ollie is looking to play a clever game. I'm wondering whether Ollie is trying to get on the back of Gamer Dan and push Dan around so that he can gap Danny C now behind, who has got in front of Exile. So that could have been a team swap, not quite sure. Reno in 6th at the moment, and number 1 Pops and Danny 84 absolutely side by side through there. Ben Clock just off the back. He's got a half-second penalty now as Ben. So we've got a few penalties that are coming into play here that are going to reshape this race a little bit during these early stages. We're on lap 3 at the moment. It's still Greg White, Gamer Dan and Ollie out front at the moment. Lag is down in 14th at the moment. Was not something I was expecting, so I don't know whether I've seen an issue somewhere. We'll have a look and see what his lap time is a little bit later, but 2:15.8 he normally does. He's 0.6 up on this one. He's chasing Mitchell, who's recovering in 13. These two just off the back of the pack a little bit. Oh, Wills. Well, I said Wills. He was going to drop back behind Ben to help him. It looks like he did. He's down in 11th at the moment from being right up the front. So Wills having a bit of a mare, and looks like he's got his work cut out. We know he's quick, very quick, but of course, you know, our tyres playing anything into this one. I haven't gone through the tyres yet. I'm going to do that a little bit later on towards the pit stops. I don't want to give away too much at the moment, although people are probably glancing at the stream and having a little look. Those that want to get a bit of a heads up on what their fellow competitors are trying to do. Ben just letting Danny through there, so Danny going up to 4th, Ben in 8th, Borky closing up on 10th. He can't quite get up the inside of Ben, but can he get an exit on the final corner and get a good run down the long straight to the first corner and see if he can get a move done? We know that the Alpha's good on tyres. The big question is, have the Alphas gone for the mediums or the softs to see how they go? We know that some of the other cars are very heavy on tyres, so they will likely have gone for mediums. I don't know whether anybody's gone for the hards. Oh, Gamer Dan with a half-second penalty now as well. So these guys, they are going to be suffering from the penalties if they're not careful. They need to try and stay within the track limits. No pit stops looking like being taken anytime soon. Greg White out front in the Porsche, going really nicely at the moment. He's 1.1 ahead of Gamer Dan at the moment. Everything looking quite settled and comfortable in the lead Porsche. Not quite sure where the fellow Porsche Nix is. He's a bit further back at the moment, I think. So Gamer Dan still with that half-second penalty. Wills is at the back at the moment. He's down in 11th and chasing Hulky at the moment. So Dan served his penalty. He has managed to retain second place, but as you can see, Ollie right on his back bumper and closing hard. It's just has to brake a little bit earlier than Dan into the chicane, but can he get onto the power more early? He can. He does get a lovely drive out of the chicane. He's going to get the inside. Dan is going to have to let that one go. So Ollie does take second place. He's now 2 seconds behind Greg and free to chase. Gamer Dan will stay with him though, just 0.2 of a second behind. Actually, Dan has got a slipstream. Can he get the inside going into the first corner? This could be change again between Ollie and Gamer Dan. Dan hard on the brakes into corner, picks up the apex beautifully. All Ollie can do is tuck in behind. He's looking for a way around the outside, or maybe he's going to try and cut underneath, but Dan's not having any of it. He's keeping it nice and tight. Nice lines from these guys here. Ollie just trying to fill the mirrors of Gamer Dan and try and put him off, try and get an intimidation pass, but I tell you what, Gamer Dan gets a beautiful run out of that, and Ollie's car was sliding around a little bit. Danny C with a bird's eye view of this little battle that we're watching at the moment, and he will pounce given half the chance. He's closing. It was 1 second. He's now got that down to 0.7. Just as I say that, it goes out to 0.8, but no, he's closing again now. So Danny C sitting quite nicely to try and get into this little battle for the second and third place. But at the moment it does look like the Alpha 4C is the more planted of the two cars. Both running really nicely, but I am being a little bit surprised by the tyres here, I have to say. I'm not going to say too much at the moment, but there could be some surprises for a few people. Gr.x still out front, 1.5 seconds to Gamer Dan, who is locked in battle with Ollie at the moment, and Danny's closing up. He's right with these two now, so Ollie is going to have his mirrors full of Danny very, very soon, or is it going to be Gamer Dan that has his mirrors full? We don't know. We'll see as they go through the chicane. It is Gamer Dan who's still out front for the moment. Dan with a half-second penalty over the chicane. So that could have been a little bit of intimidation from Ollie behind. Dan makes a mistake. He's picked up another half-second penalty, and I think this time it is going to matter. I don't think he's going to be able to cover that one off, and he's going to potentially drop 2 places. Reno in 5th. He's got Mr. Exile really, really tight behind and closing. Exile 0.6 behind. It's going to be almost half a second as we go into the tight right-hander, and then we're going to go into the left. So these are the first little complex of corners. We can see number 1 and Danny in the background. They're going quite nicely, but Reno, he's okay. He's 1 second to Exile, so Mr. Exile not quite managing to close up on the Ferrari through the complex. Whether the McLaren will be able to close up down the straight to the tight right-hander at the bottom of the hill, who knows? Reno finding his marks, turning that one in. Tyre situation looking interesting. Greg is looking really good on his medium tyres at the moment. This is where I start to give the game away, but hey ho, there we go. If you don't want to listen, guys, now's the time to put me on mute. Ollie pushing hard on the mediums. He doesn't have too many problems in the Ferrari as well, but I tell you what, the surprise to me is the 4C. So Danny's on the racing soft tyres, and he is going through those at a fairly quick rate at the moment, as Danny C just gets a little bit of a look up the inside of Gamer Dan. A little bit of paint being swapped there, but all fair in love and war. And Danny C goes through, and you can see how Danny C has dropped Gamer Dan 1.1 seconds. I think Dan is struggling on those racing soft tyres at this precise moment. Reno is also on the racing soft tyres, in the Ferrari. They're not looking very healthy either, so I think we could be getting a few pit stops coming up. Exile on the mediums. He's going to go around as Reno dives into the pits. The first of the pitters at the moment. Gamer down risking it. He's gone for another run around. Number one Pops is also on the racing mediums, looking fine. So the mediums looking okay at the moment for most of the cars. But it does look like the soft runners are going to have to pit very, very, very soon. Hulky also on the soft tyres. I was expecting the 4C to be very, very good on tyres around here. But we'll see what difference that can make as those guys pit and then how much longer the others can run. Nick's in the second of the Porsches. His tyres looking really good. Half a lap of fuel in his tank. Going well. Glag down in 12th at the moment. Running on the mediums. In the Ford. 2.5 behind Nick's. 3 ahead of Mitchell. Mitchell recovering. He's in 13th. And Reno rejoining the track in 14th. He's now 40 seconds off the leader. 8.5 behind Mitchell. So he will be looking to make the most of his new tyres. Jumped onto the mediums for this stint. He was doing 158s and the time dropped off by a second for lap number 4 and 5 on the soft tyres. So showing the difference that those tyres are making. The racing mediums are starting to feel a little bit at the moment. They were looking good, but now that some of the cars are nearing halfway on the mediums, they are starting to go away a little bit. So maybe the car's sliding around a little bit more. Greg's lap times a 1:57.972 he set on the second lap. That is the fastest lap, and he's still holding that for the moment. He's having a lonely race out front, 2.2 ahead of Ollie. His lap times then are 1:58.2, 1:58.4, 1:59.0, and then he's back into the 1:58 for a 7 and an 8 on laps 6 and 7. Ollie, he's on a firm 1:58 for the last couple of laps also, but he's got Danny C close behind, who's on a 58 and a 59. Danny's best lap was lap number 5 with a 1:58.2. Ollie's best lap was at lap number 4 with a 1:58.2 as well. So these guys very, very close on their lap times at the moment. Mr. Exile in 4th. He's slipped back a little bit. He's in 9.5 seconds behind at the moment. And looking at the lap times, he did get a 1:58.8, but then he's been in the 2 minutes, a 2-minute 0.5. He did hit a 1:59.5, but now he's back into the 2 minutes again with a 2-minute 7 and then 2-minute 3. Number one Pops chased him behind. He's been in the 2-minute mark as well, but he's just punched in a 1:59.9 to break just under the 2-minute mark. He's 3 seconds behind Exile at the moment, but he's got Wheels Racing recovering just behind. Wheels was one of the fast single laps in the qualifier. He's 17.5 seconds off the leader. He's 0.9 behind number one Pops, and he is catching. His lap time's looking really good. 1:58.8, 1:58.7. The last one of 1:59.6, so he dropped a little bit there. Can he get back into the 1:58s? The way he's going, I wouldn't be surprised at the moment. He's got a lovely slipstream off of number one Pops. Number one going well. He's on the racing medium tyres. They're looking okay at the moment. Wheels also on racing mediums with similar tyre situation. Wheels closing up just 0.3 now. Are we going to see a move with Wheels on number one Pops for Wheels to take 5th, not into the chicane? He's keeping it easy. I'm hoping Wheels remembered what we said the other day. I suggested one little thing. I don't know whether he's done it. If he has, I'm hoping that's going to keep him facing in the same direction, but also giving him the speed. He's 0.4 of a second behind number one as we come down into turn number 1. They're going to be looking for the brake markers, hitting the brakes. Both of these cars looking nicely planted. Brake disc going as the brake pads bite into the metal. Staying off of the marbles, keeping it nice and tight. Wheels taking a slightly wider line, maybe looking for a little bit of a faster exit. Number one Pops taking the tighter line. So if Wheels is going to do anything, he's going to have to do something audacious and inspiring. As I say that, he gets it down to 0.1 of a second. Oh, he's just dropped back a little bit. I think number one Pops must have had a blinding corner there. He's just pulled out a... Oh, no, I think it's actually the GT7 timing going all over the place, because it went to 0.6 of a lap, and now we're down to next to nothing as Wills makes a look up the inside. Can he get this slowed down and get this done, or is number one going to come back underneath him? It looks like number one is going to get underneath him. Can Will stay alongside? He can't quite. That was a very brave lunge. It paid off for a second or two, but number one Pops is saying, I'm too wise. I'm not going to let that one go. I'm going to have you back on the old switcheroo. And we know what a switcheroo does. It puts a big, nice smile on your face, and your confidence goes through the roof. So number one Pops smiling like a Cheshire cat behind that visor right now. Confidence growing. But I tell you what, Wills is absolutely on his back bumper. Wills is saying, I want that place. I want that place. He's going to get it soon. Brake lights on that, the brake disc on the Hurricane, complaining big time into that corner as Wills buries and stands on the brakes. Number one Pops is keeping it nice and even, 0.3. We've got Greg White, our leader, is into the pits. He's ditching the racing medium tyres. So a 159, he was losing a little bit of time, not too much, but he's jumped onto the mediums now and filling the car. No cautions or anything in this one. It's a straight run from start to the end. Oh, we've got some shenanigans going on at the front here. It sounds like I'm hearing on the game of chat. So we've got Lag chasing down Ben Clock at the moment, and Greg just coming out of the pits. He's right on the back of Lag. So unfortunately, Greg's race engineer has put him straight into traffic. Not good, not good from the Porsche garage. I hear Greg White is on the radio at the moment. He's going absolutely catatonic. Greg, keep your mind on the racing. Forget the engineers. You can fire them when you get back to the garage later on, mate. For now, we want you back up front. Keep that pedal down. Chase Lag. Oh, Greg's right on the back of Lag. Lag's lights, I don't know whether they're blinking or flashing there. He's giving Ben the hurry up here all the time. I fear that Greg is losing time behind these two that are fighting. Will be interesting to see what Greg's lap times are. Dan and Ollie, well, they're free to run up front. Danny is 1.3 ahead, and Ollie, he's got 12 seconds ahead of Exile, so no such problems. Greg's White race engineers seriously got this one wrong. He's put him out into traffic. I think if Greg could have possibly gone... Okay, Lag is coming into the pits. He's caught in. Looks like Ben's in as well. That is going to free up Greg to run. So Greg just thanking the two guys that gave him the heads up on that on the comms. So Greg's obviously had enough of having a go at his race engineer. He's now going to get back in the zone and see what he can do. 2:16 the outlap for Greg. He's 30 seconds behind Danny and Ollie. I think that cost Greg badly. I don't know how long the pit stop is on here. We won't really know until Danny C and Ollie do their pit stops, and at the moment they're okay. I don't know how much fuel Ollie's got. Danny's got a little bit more. The McLaren seems to be a little bit more frugal than the Ferrari behind. Ollie might get another lap, or he might have to come in. We'll stay with these two leading at the moment and just see what happens. Ollie is 0.9 of a second behind at the moment. Danny C looking nice and comfortable out front at the moment. Obviously the Peaky Blinders, they don't seem to have got the guns out at the moment. They're not popping tyres, but Ollie, watch yourself, mate. If you get too close, we could have some London shenanigans going on. So Ollie looking very, very, very light on the old fuel at the moment. Danny's showing red at the moment, but potentially... No, they're both in. They are both in. So I wonder if Danny is listening and covering off Ollie. So they're going to be on the mediums. What tyres are they going to go? Are they going to stick with the mediums and go long, or are they going to go onto the softs? Is anybody going to go hards and try and make a run to the damp stuff when that is going to come? Unfortunately, I can't jump into a weather map, so I don't know when that rain is going to come any more than anybody else. It's going to be as much of a surprise to me. We got Danny, Ollie and Wheels Racing all in on medium tyres. Fill in the cars. They will, I don't know what tyres they're going to be jumping onto. So Mr. Exile is going to assume first position for the moment, but he obviously is yet to pit, as is number 1. So Greg out front at the moment. He's 10 seconds behind the 2 in front, but he's going to resume quite happily when the 2 in the front do their pit stops. Greg now down into the 157.8. Crikey, that's just given everybody a heart attack. 17s. 157.8 Greg is into. He's on the racing medium tyres, so looking like... well, are they hoping that those tyres are going to go to the rain? Who knows? Who knows? They were pitted on lap 7, so they should be able to go to around about lap 14, but when is that rain going to come? Mr. Exile, he is bottom of the track at the moment, looking good on the tyres. That McLaren looking really nicely planted and poised. Mr. Exile's eyes are on stalks behind that blue visor. If I could see the whites of his eyes, it'd be frightening. Oh, hard on the steering as he goes through there, throwing up the gravel. I might have had his eyes closed going through that one. He was that close to the gravel and causing him a problem. But he's 3 seconds ahead in front of number 1 Pops at the moment. So he's built a nice little gap to number 1. But where are these guys going to feed into the traffic? Remember, lots of people have pitted so far. Number 1 Pops pitted back on lap number 4. And he is in again now for fuel and tyres. Mr. Exile also in. Mr. Exile pitted on lap number 3, so this is their second stop. And as predicted, Greg White goes through to resume the lead. And Danny C. What is Gran Turismo lying to me with the P's again? It does that. I've noticed that when I've been doing some of the stuff with the practicing with Rita. You can't trust the P's on the little delta on the right hand side. So if I have called out that somebody has pitted when they haven't, I apologise. But we got Mr. Exile, Nix, and number 1 Pops in the pits at the moment. So, whoa, ho, ho, ho. Okay, yes, we saw that very, very briefly, and I've flicked off of that very quickly. I'll come back to that one in a moment. We've got somebody throwing the dice here. Somebody's thrown the dice. I think that's too early. I really do. Greg White out front by 2.6 seconds. Danny chasing him down in the McLaren. Going well. Ollie in third at the moment. So a bit of space for the guys out the front. Greg White 2 seconds ahead of Danny, who's 4 seconds ahead of Ollie, and then Ollie's 2.5 seconds ahead of Gamer Dan, who's 3.5 back to Reno. Those are basically the top group. We've got 3 groups that are running at the moment, and the second group is headed by Wheels in 6th at the moment. He's 13 seconds back from Reno at the moment, and 4 seconds ahead of Mr. Exile, who's got Lag chasing him down, 2.5 seconds behind, and then Lag has got number 1 Pops 2.2 behind him. So equal gaps towards the back of the field at the moment. 3.3. Number 1 Pops is ahead of Borky. He's 5.5 ahead of Ben, who's 6 ahead of Mitchell, 2.8 ahead of Nix, who's 1.4 ahead of Danny. So at the moment, everybody in a little bit of space as we're around about midway through this race. We are 26.5 minutes into this 50-minute race. the guys will be thinking about the weather. It started to go a little bit grey. Obviously, everybody is pretty much committed, I think, on tyres and fuel. So, where are we at the moment? We've got Gr.x is out there on the racing medium tyres, half a tank of fuel. So, he will be okay for a while. Danny C, similar condition on the tyre, but he's gone for the racing soft. So, I was expecting mediums for a lot of these guys, but some of them are going for the soft tyres. So, Danny is looking to reel in Gr.x. If Danny can get in front of Greg, he might be able to gap him a little bit. And we know that the McLaren is very, very nice on the tyres when they are new. And he's pushing the track limits really nicely through their beautiful lines to close up by a few tenths. He's 0.8 behind Danny, 0.8 behind Greg now. And 0.6, oh, it's dropping the time like a stone. So Danny showing that the racing soft tyres are the tyres, well, I say they're the tyres to be on at the moment. They're the quickest, but are they the right ones to be on, depending on what the weather's going to do? If the weather comes early, the racing soft could be a very, very good option, whereas Gr.x on the medium has got the luxury of going a little bit longer and biding his time for the weather. No doubt the guys are going to be looking at the weather maps. We do not have that luxury at the moment. So it is Danny C chasing down Greg. Danny C takes a look up the inside. I don't think Greg has got any answer for that. If I know Greg, he's going to let Danny through. He knows that Danny's got the quicker car, and then he will slipstream and try and use that slipstream to gap Ollie a little bit more. Ollie is 5.2 back. But Greg on the harder tyres, if he can keep the margin to under a second, that will help him out a little bit. Danny C won't want that to happen. He will want to gap Greg, lose the slipstream and run away. Danny on the softer tyres, but as I said, we've got that weather. We know he's going to come in and it could upset things. Ollie running nicely in third. It looks like the guys have ditched the track limits at the moment. I'm not seeing many penalties. It's all looking very good. Gamer Dan in fourth at the moment. He's on the racing medium tyres. They're looking good in the Alpha. No need for any penalty there, so he's looking fine. Reno in the Ferrari. A little bit lower on fuel. Tyres looking good. He's on the mediums too. Wheels looking heavy on the fuel and the racing mediums, so he's set to go long. I would imagine that Wheels is going to be fine going right the way up towards the weather. So this could be interesting. If we get some of the front runners have to pit before the weather hits and Wheels can go a little bit longer, then Wheels could get himself right back into this. Remember, Wheels was a bit of a problem and he was languishing down towards the back of the pack a while ago. He's got himself up into sixth. He's in fresh air at the moment. He's got nobody to work with and he's chasing down that leading pack. Just behind, we've got lag with Mr. Exile right on his back bumper. Just half a second between those two right now. Lag on the soft, Exile on the racing mediums, but you can see the racing soft tyres, they're looking a little bit second-hand. They're okay, no worries at the moment for lag, but they are looking a little bit second-hand compared to Mr. Exiles. So this could be interesting. I think the Ford's on a budget with the second-hand tyres. Now, when I mean second-hand tyres, they're looking a little bit more worn than Mr. Exiles behind. I'm sure Ford have got the budget to put new tyres on. That could be a bit of a translation thing there. But Borky running in ninth at the moment. He's chasing down Exile 10 seconds down the road. He's in a bit of fresh air on his own with a little bit of a gap behind. We've got two guys jumping into the pit. No, they're not jumping into the pits. It looks like they were. It was just the line that they were taking. Mitchell getting a move on number one Pops. He's trying to get up the inside, the two teammates together. So is this going to be an orchestrated switch? Are they fighting? I'm hearing the rain is coming. I'm hearing. Oh, this is going to be very interesting because we got a few guys. Well, pretty much everybody. No. Ben's gone for softs. He's going to be going for a quick stint because if that rain is coming in and we don't know how hard it is going to rain, really unfortunate for Ben getting caught out there. That was really unfortunate. Danny at C out front at the moment. 2 seconds to Greg at the moment. The McLaren that has been solid all race long is suddenly starting to look like it's on a roller skate with a bent pair of rear wheels on this one. Gr.x chasing behind. Let's just have a look and see how Danny is doing on these tyres as he comes down into the first corner. We can see the rain coming down now. The McLaren just squirming a little bit under acceleration there. Gr.x behind. Interestingly, that Danny C's rain light is on solid. Gr.x is flashing on the Porsche. Mind you, it looks like it's off now. So, as Greg decided that his car decided it's not raining. No, the windscreen wiper's on. The rain light flashing again. He's 1.9 behind. So it's pretty even between Danny C and Greg out front at the moment. What can Ollie do? Ollie's on the racing mediums. And we can see now on the little rain gauge just to the left of the... actually, you can't see it on the stream. Let me just do a quick alteration. Let me take off the... I'm going to get rid of that so that you can see the rain gauge now. Those of you that are on the stream, you'll be able to see what these guys are faced with. It's theoretically intermediate tyres-ish, borderline slicks. I think the Inters would have the benefit, but it is a bit borderline at the moment. We're probably not going to get a dry line forming anytime soon. So we've got Danny's on the racing soft, Greg on the racing medium, which are going to be the better tyres in the rain. The mediums or the softs. Greg closing up 1.1 behind Danny. Greg has had enough of that. He says, I'm going to come in. Oh, he comes in, he hits the barrier. Greg White with an unforced error, and he's stuck on the barrier. He can't get off the barrier. I think the... oh, no, he lost so much time through there. Greg White with a very, very unusual error. Oh, Gamer Dan is in. Oh, Gamer Dan lucky that Greg just managed to clear the barrier. I tell you what, I think that Greg White must have split the arncove there and he got caught up on the wheel arch. He could not get off the barrier. Oh, Greg, he's gone quiet in the chat. He's not going to be a happy bunny. We've got Danny C and Ollie out front. Oh, Danny C struggling to get it slowed down. He's gone round now. So the McLaren that has been really planted all the time. Yellow flags are flying. He's off in the grass. Ollie now, he does the same. He's pirouetting around. He's into the barrier with a 720. Not quite a 720. Danny at least did a 360 and managed to keep it going. But the slicks are definitely not the tyres to be on right now. Oh, my word. Suddenly, Wills finds himself in third place. Oh, come on, Wills. Oh, he's gone around. I tell you, I think that these guys should be pitting. They're risking it all. Heroes and zeros out here at the moment. Who are going to be heroes? Who are going to be zeros? We've got Danny C on racing soft. Ollie on racing medium. Wills has gone round on mediums. He's now into the gravel. The slicks are not the tyres to be on. Dan is on the intermediate tyres and he is on the move. Gamer Dan is on the move. The lights blaring on that 4C as he comes through the mist. He is closing down on Wills like you wouldn't believe right now. And Wills has got Reno in front of him. They are tiptoeing round. Gamer Dan is going to go by those and say, boys, you're on the wrong tyres. You're making this so easy for me. Look at that. On the curbs to go on the inside of Reno. He's got so much confidence in those tyres. Oh, in motor racing, you've got to be on the right tyres at the right time. And Gamer Dan is changing this. He is 27 behind Danny and Ollie. Who else have we got? Who else have we got on intermediates? We've got Reno's on the mediums. Wills is on the mediums. Greg's on the racing mediums. Mr. Exile's on the mediums. Lag has gone for the intermediates, so he's going to be flying in the Ford, but he's in lap 8 at the moment. Ollie in now, Danny in as well. Borky is playing the team game with Dan. He's on the intermediates, so Borky could make up some good places here. So Gamer Dan, let's have a look and see what lap time he's doing after the pit stop. It's not going to tell me. We've lost the timing charts for the race officials at the moment. I hear that they're scrabbling around trying to get the technical issue working. No such technical issues for Dan, who's running out front at the moment. But my crew are letting me down in the commentary box up here. Come on, guys, can we please get the timing charts working again? Because Will's still on the racing mediums. He's gone around again. He didn't pit. Ollie with a 3-second penalty. So Ollie, I think, must have gone across the pit line. So, oh, that's going to hurt. Wills is really throwing the dice on this. This is so intermediate tyres at the moment. We've got a yellow flag in front of Gamer Dan, so somebody else is going around, I think. Not quite, or off the track. At the moment, we've got Gamer Dan is on intermediates. He's hit the front now. Ollie in second with a 3-second penalty. He is on inters, but he's going to have to get a move on. He's 14 seconds behind Gamer Dan. This is just showing that Dan hit the right tyres at the right time. Danny C also on intermediates. He's got a 3-second penalty as well. So the penalties are going to play into this one too. That is going to bring Lag right into play. I think Lag has a good chance of getting a solid second place in this one by the time the penalties are cleared. He's on the intermediate tyres. Wills still going round on the racing mediums. How on earth is Wills keeping this on track? I tell you what, this is going to be very interesting, because we're coming up to 40 minutes. We've got 10 minutes of racing left. I do not know what the weather's doing because nobody's got a weather map open. But the track is coming back towards the inters. I'm not able to see a weather map on anybody at the moment, so I can't give you any indication. But Dan, as he goes across the curbs there, you could see the Wayne gauge filling. It's now dropping back. Well, if it doesn't carry on raining, it's going to get interesting, because Gamer Dan's gauge is dropping towards slicks. It's still inters, I think, at the moment, but there's a definite line that is appearing on the track at the moment. Does mean that you've got to stay within that line, stay off the white lines. Anybody who rides a motorbike will know you do not put a bike on a wet line in the rain, because it hurts. Oh, it hurts. How do I know? I'm not going to tell you. Ollie in second. He's 16 seconds behind Gamer Dan at the moment. Obviously, the intermediates not wearing too much at the moment, but are the guys going to have to be looking for water soon? We will see, as we are definitely heading towards slick tyres, in my opinion. The top 3 on the inters, the top 4 on inters, and then Wills is still circulating on those racing medium tyres. And I tell you what, those racing medium tyres aren't wearing heavily either at the moment. Very interesting strategy from Wills. He is the only one. Oh, no. Reno has thrown the dice. Reno has just obviously pitted, I think. He's jumped onto the racing softs. He's letting Danny 84 through at the moment that is on the inters. So Reno on the racing softs. Oh, there is a definite dry line forming. Mr. Exile with a 3-second penalty, so it looks like a few of them have had issues with the pit entry. We did see Ben's also on the racing softs. We've got a few people that are throwing the gauntlet here. Greg has been our man on the move at the first start of the race. He's on intermediates at the moment, but he's way back in 8th at the minute after an absolutely catastrophic pit entry. Hulky's in the chat. Good evening, Hulky. You're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. We've got a great little race going on. We've got a couple of people that have thrown the dice on the tyres, and we'll see how that goes. Wills is still in 6th at the moment. He's 1.1 behind Borky, and number 1 Pops is chasing. He's 5 seconds behind, and number 1 Pops on the intermediates has got the advantage over Wills at the moment. Wills needs to get on the back of Borky and get a slipstream and use the power of this Hurricane down the longer straights, tiptoeing through the corners a little bit. He's willing that dry line to form. It is forming slightly. It's not drying quite as much as it was. So whether the track has cooled down a little bit, but I think that this is now going into the favour of those on the slick tyres. So just to do a tyre check as we are approaching the last 5 minutes of this one. So we've got the last 3 or 4 laps. Gamer Dan on the intermediates out front by some 13 seconds. He jumped onto those tyres at exactly the right time, and he's made the best of it. Ollie, who's been up front all the way through this one, he's circulating in 2nd, 7 seconds ahead of Lag. Lag in 3rd. He's on intermediates as well, being chased by Danny. Danny's on the intermediates and now looking for water. We've got guys are now looking for water. Borky off the racing line a little bit, looking for water there, I think, as well. Wheels Racing will not be looking for water. He's looking for that dry line. He's risking it on the curbs. He's risking everything. He's 3 seconds behind Borky at the moment. He needs this track just to dry a little bit more. Number 1 Pops in 7th. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if the sunshine came up now and dried up all this rain? It would really turn this one on its head. I might dive into the parameters of the race in a minute and change some weather on them. Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be fun. Alas, I don't think I'm able to do that. Or Greg with a little bit of a twitch on the wet there. He's on the intermediates. He's still trying to recover at the moment. We've got a yellow flag. No, Wills has stuck it into the barrier hard. The racing medium's biting. Oh, Wills. Brave. Alas, it didn't quite pay off. So that's promoted Greg up to 7th. Wills has got it all to do, but the track is drying. We are definitely into intermediate tyres if you can keep it in the right line at the moment. But as Wills just found, if you put a wheel off, you're in trouble. So, Gamer Dan. Oh, his intermediates are not looking nice. We've got 4.5 minutes to run. Oh, is he going to be able to keep those tyres? Ollie's looking for into wet. Danny on inters. Lag on inters. So the top guys are on inters and they've got to be looking for water now. Who have we got on slicks? Just looking down through the list at the moment. So, okay, Wills is on the racing mediums. He's done a 209, but obviously he's had that issue, so that will change. Who else have we got? Racing Soft for Reno. He's in the 209s. And we've got Ben is on the racing softs. Oh, his times are all over the place. Yeah, we won't look at those. I don't want to embarrass him. But Dan's on the 204s at the moment on the inters. Oh, no, you haven't. Oh, Ben's gone round. Commentator's curse. It strikes again. Oh. We are... Oh. Ben, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am sorry. This is the oh, this is the Murray Walker effect. The Murray Walker effect that I'm well known for, I tell you. Oh dear, if it's going to go wrong. Oh, oh dear. We'll leave poor Ben alone now. It's all right. I'm leaving you to recover. He's having a mare at the back, the poor lad. He's absolutely having a mare. Wow, Game of Dan's tyres. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. Wheels, traction control, keep it on the track, mate. This is not over yet. Oh, think about the fuel. Oh, I think he's going to get caught on fuel. The other guys, their tyres. This really is going to be, who is going to be able to bring these intermediates home? Oh, this is tough. Oh my God. Number one's tyres are gone. Number one going for a move on Borky, but number one's top tyres are gone. Borky's gone deep. Number one Pops has gone deep. Greg White is saying, I'll have some of that. Thank you very much. She splits to 2. Oh, Greg's tyres are looking as bad as everybody else's. Oh my God. These guys are running on canvas right now. I tell you what, the chat has absolutely come alive. Oh, these tyres are crying right now. Don't overtake, Greg. If you go past Outlaw, you're going to be in trouble because we got a car off the track there. I don't know who that was. Let me see. Oh, we got Ben and Nix are off. So Ben's stuck in the barrier at the moment. He can't get off because he's got cars coming around. Nix is just joining in 13th. Oh my word. I wouldn't mind, but Nix's tyres are okay. Oh, Mitchell with a half second. Reno with the racing soft tyres. Oh my word, where are we? Oh, this is incredible. I'm going to have to take the earpiece out because there's a lot of chatter going on in the chat and I can't concentrate. And there's so much going on. Gamer Dan is 9.5 seconds ahead of Ollie at the moment, but his tyres are shot, as are Ollie's. Pretty much similar condition. Ollie is 8.5 ahead of Danny, who's got tyre and also fuel considerations going on. We are on the final lap, so they're pretty much committed now. It's a case of can they bring it home. Gamer Dan is going to be, I bet his heart is going like crazy. I bet he's ripped his shirt off and thrown it out the window. He's going to want to shed all the weight that he can because that intermediate tyre has now gone. There is no tyre on the front of his car. Same with Ollie. In fact, all 4 of Ollie's tyres have gone, completely gone. A lot of the cars behind have finished. We've got the top 4 that are on the lead lap. So it's Gamer Dan, Ollie, Danny C and Lag that are fighting this one out. It's 7 seconds between Dan and Ollie. 7 back to Danny, and Danny has got Lag 5 behind, but Lag is closing up. All in a bad way on tyres. Absolutely terrible on tyres. Gamer Dan and Ollie, 7 and 5. I don't think anybody's going to be able to do anything. They've got a fair old way to go. Oh, we got a spinner. Have we got a spinner up front? I can see a car that's going around. I think it might have been one of the back markers, possibly. Gamer Dan goes through. No hassles. Ollie, it's Mitchell that's recovering. And he's on a cool-down lap and he can't keep it in a straight line. That shows what the conditions are like. So it just shows how well these four are going up front with 0 tyres. Gamer Dan's going to have his heart in his mouth as he comes around the last corner. He is going to come across the line to take the lead by some 7 seconds. Ollie, with the back end of that Ferrari squirming around, he's looking for moisture. I would say get off of that. He's got no tyres left, but he comes across in second. Danny in third, and Lag was chasing hard, 3.4 seconds back. Lag is going to come across to take 4, so it's going to be Dan, Ollie, and Danny C, 1, 2, and 3. So Game and Dan pulled an absolute blinder with those intermediate tyres. Some of the others through the gauntlet. We'll have a look and see where Will's finished. He did try to make those tyres last while everybody else was on the inters. He dived on to the... Let me just share this one. I'll share this as PSR because it's easy. And actually, I'll call it PSR Hulky. Let me just do this very, very quickly. And we go PSR Hulky. And I'll go PSR in here so you guys can find it. And we'll go Hulky in this one. Bear with me a second. So we'll okay that. Just jump back into the chat. Well done, lads. That was absolutely fantastic. So I'm just doing a saving the replay. And wow, that weather really, really threw some spanner in the works for some of the guys up front. And we will have a look and see where everybody finished in just a moment. Well done, everybody. Right, just saving this replay at the moment. God, it's taking a long old time to save this one. Gamer Dan says, oh my God, what a race. I'm shaking. I'm not surprised, but most people are. It was a cracker race. Absolute cracking race. Oh, you're welcome, my friend. Right, let me just... I'm going to lose the chat for a minute. I'm going to go through the result. Right, so we have got... Let me just take a screenshot of that. I'll take the next one in a minute. So Gamer Dan was first with a 158.043. Ollie in second with a 158.261. And then Danny C in third with a 157.3. Lag in fourth with the fastest lap, a 157.122. And then Greg White in fifth with the 157.832. Borky in sixth. So basically, you've got the top 5 are all in different cars, different teams. So Borky and Gamer Dan maximising the points for their team there as far as the 2-tier is concerned. So Dan was the leader, and then Borky the second of the teammates. Number 1 Pops in 7th. Danny 84 in 8th. Let me take a screenshot of that one too for Hulky. And then we've got Mr. Exile in 9th. Reno in 10th. Wills Racing 11th with a 1 second penalty. He did throw the gauntlet. He tried to go racing mediums for the longest time. It was working until it went wrong. Mitchell in 2nd. And then Nix and Ben Block 13th and 14th. Ben not actually finishing that one. He had a mare on those tyres. I think Nick's had a bit of an issue as well. So The guys that did jump onto the slicks having a rare old time at the end with the track. No such issues for Gamer Dan in first, Ollie second, and Danny C third. So it is going to be the Alpha 4C that are going to take the points for the win, and then the 458 Italia, the Ferrari, in second, and McLaren in the 650S in third. So well done, guys. Right, I am now going to open this one up, and I need to change a few things in here. Load settings. We're going to be at Sardegna, and that's all good. And we will change event settings because we are now into my own lobby races now. Let me just vacate the chat room so that I don't cause any problems there. So we're out. And we'll okay that. Now, I'm not going to be racing again tonight, guys, because I am still trying to get my back and my head sorted out. I need to take it a bit easy. Thank you to everybody that's joined me in the chat. I apologise that I wasn't talking to many of you in that one. I can't even go back to the beginning, but I can see that Racer's Edge was in, Gamer Dan, Rita was in earlier, Borky, Rasta Rick was in. Good evening to all of you guys. Number One Pops obviously was racing. Warrior Bismarck was in, and Christine Sumsian was in. M33 here. I thought I'd signed up. I need to sign up with Hulky. Right. One of the things I do want to do is just check. Oh, it sounded like I was in a... Oh, don't know. Bit weird. Bit strange. So, yeah, Warrior Bismarck was in earlier on. The Croutier popped in to say hello. Welcome to all of you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for popping in. Jonathan Wells was in as well. Drat Fury. He was asking about comments. Sorry, Drac, I didn't catch your comment earlier on. Hulky then dropped in to say hello. He's away at the moment, so he wasn't able to host. Number One Pops in. Drew dropped in too, and Nest Sim Racing, and Ollie. So, William got a minute penalty at the end of the race. I saw, my friend. Oh, I did see. Right, where are we? So the first race for tonight, let me just bring up the Discord so I don't need Hulky's stuff at the moment. I need my own. Where are we? PSR Daily Lobby. So we've got 3 races lined up. I don't know I'm going to get all 3 done. I'm not going to lie, my head is hurting a little bit and I need to make sure my back is okay. So we've got the Alfa Romeo Giulia ATM 80 AM is going to be the first race, and I am going to get this one. I'm going to go for qualifier for the first one, and then so that the game can sort a few bits and pieces out, and then for the next I'm going to switch to straightforward races. I'll see if I can get all 3 done, because we've got the Alfa Romeo Giulia or however you want to say that. Then we've got the Hyundai Elantra around Yamagawa, and then I did go with a Chevrolet Corvette around Daytona. So I was doing an Italian one around an Italian track, and the Hyundai around an Asian track, and then off to America for the Chevrolet at Daytona. So yeah, we'll see how we go. We've got a few people jumping in at the moment. We've got Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wheels, Drew is in, Sim Racing's in, Number One Pops is in, and Borky is just joining us. Number One Pops in a very, very bright pink car. Ollie just out on track at the moment. I do love this car. It's a beautiful car around here. Really, really nice. He's in the red one. Gamer Dan is in a green, black and sort of silvery, grey, whitey colour car. As it comes to us, we'll have a look. I think it's silver. Looks like a an Energizer battery, that car. I wonder if it is an Energizer sponsored car. I can't see. It's going far. It's going past way too quick. Dan, slow down. I can't see the sponsor. He's going so quick. I can't see. Flashing his lights. Selena, it looks like. So it's not an Energizer. Lovely livery on that car. Looks really nice. It looks really aggressive from the front. The only thing I would say is, now I'm looking at the front of that car, it looks like he's got pursed lips. You know, like when somebody goes like this. It looks like he's got a funny face on him. It really does look like he's got a funny face on that car. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Yes, Selenia. It's a lovely livery, Dan. Really nice livery. Just got to get that face on the front end sorted because it doesn't look right. Oh, Sim Racing. He's in the green car. Front of that one looks mean. No little girly pursed lips from Sim Racing. He's got the bit between his teeth. He is Serious Racing. Will's also in a green car as well. Will's car in slightly better condition. As I say that, he goes across the grass. So the floor probably getting a little bit of a beating up there. And then we've got Drew in the silver car. Hulky in the red one. Number one Outlaw Pops is in the pink car. And we're back to Ollie. So I think 10 out of 10 for Gamer Dan. He's got the best livery, I think, but I'm still not so sure about the front of that car. Number one Pops rallies tomorrow, my friend. I didn't do the rally today because I didn't know how I was going to be feeling. I didn't want to put the rally out and not be able to do it. So the rally's definitely coming tomorrow. I did say yesterday, I think I said I was going to do it Thursday. So the rally, I'm hoping you're going to be with us tomorrow. Definitely we're doing Fisherman's Ranch tomorrow. We might even bring Lake Louise out. Who knows? Who knows? Right, where are we? It is 25. I am going to get this one going. Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wills, Drew, Hulky, Sim Racing and number one Pops. Let's get this one going. We're going to be doing the quali for the first one. And then the next two, I won't be doing quali just to see if we can get those done. Because I need to finish on or around about 11 o'clock. I need to try and keep these sessions to 2 hours. So started off at 8:30 today. Done an awful lot of talking. And when I get excited, I do get a bit of pressure build up. Ollie says, oh, this is his dream car, says Ollie. I didn't know that. You're only a petrol head if you've ever owned an Alfa Romeo. There you go. There we go. Right, let's put some info up so we can see what we're doing. Obviously, everybody's going to be on the Sports Soft tyres. They are the only tyre of choice for this one. So, whereas we had tyre choices and strategy in the previous race, no such issue for this. These are straightforward 6-lap sprints. There will be a little bit of tyre and fuel wear, but not enough for them to worry about too much. As Gamer Dan just puts a rear wheel in the dirt there as he comes off the corner. They come up the hill. It's a lovely car. Sounds great. Handles great, this car. Really, really nice. I did do a race in this at one time where I put racing soft tyres on and it was horrible compared to the Sports Soft. So much nicer in the Sports Soft. All you've got to do is brake early in a straight line, get the braking done, and in my opinion just keep the gears up. It's plenty of grunt, a bit like the Aston Martin, plenty of grunt off the corners. And then I would imagine, I won't know because it depends on what the guy's doing, but for me, third, fourth, fifth gear are normally your friend in cars like this I'm finding. I went through a phase where I kept banging it down into second gear. In second gear you just find the back end would go round on you and you'd be in all sorts of trouble. Farinell, good evening. He says, interesting, I would probably choose a Ferrari, but I guess it's the actual affordable dream car tier. Mind you say affordable, what are these? These got to be 70, 80 grand new. I'm not going to lie, I did look them up on Auto Trader at one point. Don't know what they go for nearly new. Could be more affordable. Might have a little look later on. It's a beautiful looking car. It's a beautiful looking car unless you're sitting in this one. Because this one looks beautiful from the side. It looks beautiful from the back. It's got some lovely lines. It's being driven beautifully. But as soon as you get the front view, it just looks like a... What a funny face. Loving the front of that car. It's just me. I'm sorry. I see silly pictures in things. I just see silly pictures in stuff. I can look at the clouds and see pictures and stuff. It's just me. I'm a bit mad. Until recently, they did wonder whether I had a brain. It is now official. I do have a brain. The big question now is whether it's functioning properly. Well, I can tell you now, for the moment, it isn't functioning properly. And for those of you that are interested in such things, I've been called back to the hospital on the 2nd of March to see the neurologist. It's taken them this long to realise that I do actually have a brain and that it needs some attention. What attention it's going to need, I don't know. I'm hoping it's just a follow-up appointment and everything's fine. The next MRI scan is going to be another couple of months away. The recovery that I am on, unfortunately, is a long one. So where are we at the moment? Long lap here, so they're only really going to get one flying lap, because I think I did a 5-minute quali and we're 3.5 minutes in, and Gamer Dan is going to be coming down the hill to set the pace lap. Wheels behind him seeing what he can do. Ollie crosses a line with a 1:49.0, but it is red. Wheels Racing with a 1:49.873, also red. I'm not taking any notice of the red line. Red lap times on the right hand side normally would indicate that there was a track limit. Oh no, they are now. It's changing. I tell you, you cannot trust Gran Turismo at the moment. They are good laps. So 1:49.010 from Gamer Dan. Can anybody get in the 1:48s? Ollie a 1:49.6. Wheels a 1:49.8. Drew is a 1:50.1 and Sim Racing a 1:51.2. Borky punches in a 1:51.9. So it's all down to number one. We know number one is good in these road cars. They do a lot of work in these sorts of cars in the Outlaws. Often 600-700 pp road cars on sports tyres. So he should be feeling right at home, but he comes across in 7th, a 1:53.5, and he's thrown me a little bit because that, for number one, I feel is a little bit off the pace. Could we be seeing number one come through the pack in the race? Or is it purely that he's chosen a pink car? You know what, it's the pink car. You get a car with pink paint. I don't know why they do it. Because when you paint a car pink, you have to put 25,000 layers of paint to make it look half decent. It just adds so much weight. It's like sticking a load of ballast on. You know what you want to do? You want to go in for a really nice black, green and silver car. One single layer of beautiful paint, beautifully smoothed. It slides through the air with grace and poise. And then you get a pink blancmange wallowing through the corners with 28,000 layers of paint on it. Oh dear. Brownell says Mitch is not a jellyfish at least. I tell you what, it's I don't know what he's got, but it's a wobble. It's got a wobble. Gamer Dan with a 1:48.127 and the fastest lap. Actually, it looks like I've got a 10-minute qualifier on. The qualifier is not over. We're on the final lap. I didn't realise we got a 10-minute quali on. So it could all still change. I got Gamer Dan all excited. He was sitting up there with a big soppy grin on his face thinking that I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm lying again. No, I think he has finished. I'm seeing hazard lights on. These guys are going around slowly. It has finished. So it is going to be Gamer Dan off the line first. Nice and tight up the front. I never believe a word a commentator says because they haven't got a clue what they're saying half the time, especially when you're commentating live because it is so difficult to keep up with everything. And Ollie says the stock version of this car is about 9 to 11,000 pre-owned. That's not bad for this car. Is that one of the top of the range ones? I was looking at one of the top of the range ones with a big old lump in it. Gamer Dan is going to be leading us away with Wheels in second. Ollie on the second row with number 1 Pops. Then we've got Drew and Sim on row number 3. Borky on row number 7. I'm spectating this one. We are going to get this one underway straight away. No worries about tyres and fuel and stuff with this one. They can just go. But it is looking pretty tight up at the front for this. The big question is, can Wheels pull this off? That seems to be the big question at the moment. We will put some information in. Wheels, keep it in a straight line. Just follow Dan and then just beat him into the last corner. Get a slipstream down a straight. Do him on the line. That's how to do it. Right, let's see how we go. Gamer Dan and Wheels Racing will be leading us away. We are 5 lights at Sardegna. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. The sky is blue. And all of the guys get away really, really nicely. Didn't look like anybody really got a big benefit, although I say that. Number 1 Pop's got a really nice run, with Wheels also with a nice run. They're going to be 3 side by side as they go into the first corner. Careful of the gravel on the outside, boys. I don't know who's in the red car. That's Ollie in the red car being really respectful, seeing that the 2 cars were on the outside. Could have ended up nasty. It didn't. Really respectful racing there. He tucks in behind Gamer Dan. 0.3 behind them. So there's nothing split in the top 5. Other than a bit of a slide from Wheels as he gets on the power there. He's still just in front of the car with the 28,000 layers of paint. Oh, Wheels into the barrier. That's... I've got to stop looking at Wheels and calling them out, because every time I do, commentator's curse kicks in. He's in 5th. He's going to be chasing hard. He's still in touch with this little group. In fact, all of the racers are all together. We've got all of them on the screen at the moment. So Gamer Dan out front, and Ollie, number 1 Pops, Drew, Wheels, Sim Racing and Borky at the moment. But not a lot in it at the moment. Borky's been doing a lot of work with a few of the guys. We were talking the other day. He's done a lot of work with Gamer Dan. He's done work more recently as well with Hulky and Greg, sharing information and getting the most out of his new wheel. He's been very, very quick in the GR4s and GR3s just recently. Got me quite worried, actually. I'm having to raise my game. He's in 7th at the moment in the road cars. But it's Gamer Dan out front at the moment. 0.2 ahead of Ollie. And number 1 Pops is just 0.4 behind. These 3 just gapping the cars behind ever so slightly as Ollie takes a look up the inside. Hard on the brakes there. You can see the cars squirming around all over the place. He buries that hard into the barrier. Gamer Dan goes through. Little giggle, giggle, giggle. I can see that's the reason why I think his car was wiggling and waggling through that corner there. He's laughing his head off. Tears of joy as he goes through there. Unfortunately, Ollie, quite the opposite. Tears of sadness as he drops right the way down to 6th. So Borky is, Ollie is really going to have to be on it now to try and close up. Gamer Dan, purples, outlaw number 1 Pops. He shed a few layers of paint, I hear, as he's going around. They're peeling off. The air is peeling off all of the layers of paint on that little purple car. The pink car, don't even know what colour it is. I can't bring myself to say pink. That's what it is. I'll just call it the blancmange. Number 1 Pops in the blancmange mobile, going well in 2nd. He is 2 seconds behind Gamer Dan at the moment. So Dan is just stretching his lead at the moment. Really nicely poised. Number 1 Pops will have Wheels and Drew in his mirrors. Oh, Wheels really risking it on the curb through there. But outlaw number 1 Pops into the barrier, as did Drew. Drew with a big old slide and gathering that up. Oh, that was a bit of skill there in the background. Caught the barrier on the grass. I thought the back end was going to go round and he was going to do a swapperoo, but he didn't. He managed to keep that going in a straight line. Wheels with a beautiful run on number 1 Pops now. Number 1 Pops with 2 wheels into the gravel. Number 1 Wheels keeping a much tighter and nicer line. Can Wheels do anything about that? He's closing, closing, closing. Commentator's curse. Please, please don't kick in again. But I do want to watch this. Wheels can't quite get it done. He always trying to go around the outside. That's brave. you're not going to get that done through there. Thank goodness for that. He tucks in behind number 1 Pops. There was no way that was going to come off. Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly. Whoa, number 1 Pops with a beautiful 4-wheel slide through there. Right on the ragged edge on the limit. They're leaving nothing on the table here. Wheels getting a lovely drag up the hill here. Can't quite get it done. He tucks in behind number 1. Number 1 looked like he might have gone a bit deep there as Wheels managed to get up the inside. He did. Wheels with a slightly tighter line. Number 1 with a little bit of a wider line there. Maybe a barrier nudge. I'm not quite sure, but that's just dropped him back a little bit. Dan is running away with this out front. Just on board with him. As I say that. Oh, I thought he went deep there. But no worries. Just losing a few hundredths of a second to the guys behind. Taking it easy on the grass through there. Wow, 3 cars all together. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, as I say that, number 1 pops into the barrier and goes around. Thankfully, he ghosted and number Sim jumped through him. Oh, commentator's curse is kicking in big time tonight. Murray Walker, you are with me tonight, my friend, my hero. The great, great late Murray Walker. He gives me inspiration every time I get out into these, watching these replays and commentating. I feel like he's on my shoulder. Feeding little information. But the old Murray Walker curse, very often. I remember watching a grass track racing mini race once, and there was a mini that was out front, and Murray Walker turns around and says something like, he's out front, he's got absolutely no problems, he'll be able to see perfectly well, and blah blah, and the guy went straight on at the corner, complete mud all over his front windscreen, couldn't see a thing, went straight on. But the guy was so far out front. And classic Murray Walker moment, and I'm having those tonight. As soon as I'm jumping on board with people, we're seeing issues, and some of them are very good racers as well. Wheels Racing and Drew trying to line up Wheels for a move. We got Sim Racing just a little bit behind. Ollie in 5th. Number 1 Pops in 6th, and Borky 7th at the moment. Ollie back down in 5th. I think that Ollie has popped to the... I hear that he's popped... Oh, he's off. He's off. No, he's not. He's just taken a very unusual line. Yeah, I've just been told that Ollie he's a bit off the pace at the moment because he popped off to the Alpha showroom just before this race, and he hasn't actually bought the car, but he's put a deposit on this one, and the salesman was a bit busy having a cup of coffee. He said, go on, here's the keys, you go and take it for a test run. Little did Ollie tell him that he was taking it out to a PSR race. So Ollie desperate not to put a scratch on that car. If not, he's going to have some explaining to do. It's looking in showroom condition at the moment, but he's sandbagging. Come on, Ollie. His pride and joy. I wonder if this is the colour. Is this a colour that you'd have? It's good with the black wheels. Up front, Wheels still fending off Drew at the moment, who's right with him. Gamer down 4.2 down the road at the moment. So on lap number 6, Dan seems to have got this one in his pocket. Wheels and Drew synchronised sliding through that corner. Drew getting the slightly better line. I think he get on the power more quickly, but he's got to swap to cross the track as Wheels sweeps across. All good, no problems, but beautiful synchronised sliding through that corner from those two. Really did look very, very, very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Just half a second between these guys at the moment as Wheels heads up the hill, down the hill to the tight tight left-hander. It's not a right-hander at all, it's a left-hander. No such sliding on this occasion. They want to keep it tight. Sliding looks good. Sounds good. But in a race, it's not good. Not only are you chewing up rubber on your tyres, you can overheat the tyres. It slows you down as well. Wheels onto the grass there. Gets it a little bit sideways, gathers it up. Drew would have seen that. Drew pushing. Wheels with his mirrors full of the car behind. Again, under power. Will's just getting that back end just a little bit loose. Drew will have seen that. If Drew can get on the back of Will's and push, there could be an intimidation pass as Drew gets a little bit across the curb there. He's pushing hard at the moment. On the final lap now for Gamer Dan, he's 5 seconds ahead of Wills, who is just 0.7 ahead of Drew. They are 4 seconds ahead of Sim Racing, who is 1.6 ahead of Ollie. And then it will be number one Pops 3.5 seconds further back, and then Borky 12. So Borky just a little bit off at the pace in this one, but that will change. That will change very much in the next race, I am almost sure. And number one circulating in 6th as well. That car looking a little bit beaten up on the front. So Outlaw number one Pops has been in the wars a little bit. Ollie's car still looking like it's good enough to go back into the showroom. All he's going to need to do is kick the tyres, do an oil change and part with a bit of money. And then all I've got to do is twist Ollie's arm to take me on a track day in it. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Have Ollie taking me round in a Alfa Giulia. Would be... Ooh, was he into the barrier there? That looked awfully close. Don't bend it now, my friend. Don't bend it. Don't bend it. Don't bend it like Beckham. Gamer Dan. Half a second out front. Wheels. Drew's just dropped back a little bit. I think Drew must have had an issue there. He's dropped back to 3 seconds. The back end of that car sliding around a little bit, and Sim Racing closing up. Sim Racing with Ollie very close. Sim Racing has got Ollie just 1 second behind at the moment, but it's Dan who's going to come across to take the win by 4.8 seconds. Wills is going to claim 3rd. Drew's going to come across in 3rd. Sim Racing is going to get 4th with Ollie 5th. Then we'll have Outlaw number one Pops is going to come across in 6th. And then Borky, bless his heart, didn't give up. This is what I love, the respectful nature of the guys. They keep going. They keep going. They're going to bring it home. Borky in a nice 7th position. There's some strong competition in this one tonight. Ollie's saying, scratches, what scratches? Brown now saying, those scratches and dents were already there, I swear. Ollie after returning the car to the dealer. Oh, let's do the replay, and looks like Ollie is going to be heading back to the dealer. Is he going to part with his money? Or is he going to see sense and buy a BMW M2 competition? We'll see. Ollie, no power, no fancy trims. Stock as stock can be. It's a great car. It's a great car. It's lovely to drive. And you can see some of the guys getting their little forward slides through the corner. You can really get the balance and feel the balance, and just, you know, if you get a corner with a slight rise on it, you can just feel the car lift, slide, grip, and go through. It is a wonderful, wonderful feeling if you can do it and when you do it. Gamer Dan was your winner with a 147.727, but Wheels Racing in 2nd place on the podium with a 147.489 and take in the fastest lap. Drew in 3rd with a 148.411, and then we had Sim Racing 4th, Ollie 5th, number one Pops in 6th, and Borky in 7th. I am going to line up the next one, and then I just need to move around a little bit. So we are at Yamagawa for this one. I'm going to lose the qualifier, and we're going to go straight in to this one. Oh, just bear with me a second, guys. Oh. Move my back around a little bit. So we're in the Hyundai Elantra for this one. Oh. Oh. Sorry for laughing and puffing, guys. Apologise. So there we go. That's the Elantra. Going racing at 50, 10-2. Just get some replay info on. So we've got 7 runners at the moment. Ollie, Game It Down, Wheels Racing, Borky, Drew, Sim Racing and number 1 Pops. Now just saying, I just now realised that Alfa Romeo Giulia is a reference to Romeo and Juliet. Never thought about that. Neither did I. So that then suggests, is it Alfa Romeo Giulia rather than Giulia? Is it Giulia? One would imagine it probably would be a Giulia, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google that and find out at some point. So we've got Ollie is in the pink and white car, the BWT livery. Gamer Dan is in the Monster red and black. Wills is in Buglugs is Ingram's livery. I believe that's going to be Tom Ingram's livery for this season coming. Borky is in a scary one. Drew's in the standard red, white and blue. Sim Racing also in the red, white and blue, and number 1 Pops is in a beautiful, oh, that's a nice livery. That is sort of gold, black, orange with some spangly wheels on it, looking nice there. Right, it is 10-2, so let's exit out of there and we will get this one underway. Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wills, Drew, Borky, Sim Racing, number 1 Pops, good luck to you guys. Just 7 in this one. It's always going to be a quiet night when we are hosting one of the big championship races. Baronel has only ever heard it pronounced as Julia. Thank you. I will call it the Alpha Julia from now on, even though it's got a G. Why have I not got... Confused.com. Dan's going to lead us away with Ollie just behind. Then we've got Wheels Racing, Borky, Sim Racing, number 1 Pops and Drew, and Gamer Dan just getting around the outside of this one. I mentioned the other day about hooking the curbs up. There's a couple of places where you can do that and you can really pull the car around, but there are certain places where you do not want to do that because it will have the opposite effect. We're not running Miyabi on this one. It is just the Yamagawa circuit. I do love this circuit. It's one that we don't do very often. I'd like to see it more often. You can see there Ollie just trying to hook the inside of the curb there to slingshot the car around. He's got Wheels Racing just behind as we go down the hill. All important to brake at the right time for the chicane. Otherwise you can be in all sorts of trouble. You can dip a wheel in across the grass there, but it can unsettle the car, and sometimes you can find yourself facing the wrong direction or flying across the track into the barrier. No such issues for anybody at the moment. We've got Sim Racing just having a little look around the outside of I think it was Drew and Sim having a little bit of a battle at the back, a little bit of a swapperoo going on. Not a swapperoo where they've gone around, just a place change, but it's Sim Racing ahead of Drew. And out the front, Gamer Dan and Ollie, and then Will's racing. So Will's in a podium place at the moment, as is Ollie and Gamer Dan, but I think that could all change. Borky's in the mix with this one as well. He's in fourth at the moment and going well, and there's nothing between them. Gamer Dan is 1.2 out front, so he's stretching the lead at the minute. You've then got Ollie, who is 0.3 ahead of Will's racing, so they're fairly close together, and then there's a little bit of a gap of 0.7 of a second back to Borky, but Borky's closing. Hopefully he'll be able to use a little bit of slipstream at some point. Very difficult to get that through this section. And then what I'm really loving are these three. Number one Pops leading Drew and Sim Racing. These guys are looking like three little professionals going through the S's. Locked together. Really lovely with the two cars looking as if they're teammates. I'll tell you now, both of them will want to get past each other. There won't be any love lost on track when they get close. Or Sim Racing just off and into the grass there. I think he's kept that going, so he'll be okay. The front of number one Pops' car looking really light over the ridge there as he comes down into the chicane. And it is number one Pops with Drew really nicely lined up behind. Some beautiful lines from Drew through there. That has enabled Drew to close up massively on number one. He just needs a great exit on this corner, and then through the long right hand chicane. Oh, we've got a car, I think that's Ollie, into the grass there. Borky would have seen that, but Borky's also got number one and Drew right behind him now. So number one Pops and Drew with the bit between their teeth. Keep it on the black stuff, guys. It's getting very, very close. There's not a lot between these guys. This really could be anybody's race in this little section here. Drew just getting past Borky, I think. Ollie with a penalty there. That's going to drop him back. He's resumed in fourth, but now down to fifth. Could well be sixth. Borky just getting into the back of Ollie a little bit there. Just a little bit of a love tap on the way round. I think Ollie's held it, so I think we're all good. Borky will no doubt try and get onto the back of Ollie. He's just behind Sim Racing at the moment. So just up front it's Gamer Dan now, 1.5 out front. Got this one nicely under control. Wheels going well. We'll leave Wheels alone. We know what Commentator's Curse is doing to Wheels today. Number one Pops and Drew. I think this is one of the battles. There's another battle raging towards the back, but this is the battle for the podium place, the final podium place. At the moment, Outlaw number one Pops has it. Drew BTT is hunting it down, and a lovely little run through there. Nothing between these two cars. It's Boppy's on, single car race this one. So it's all about driver skill, driver nerves, driver pressure. Soaking it up, giving it, and at the moment Drew's giving it. Outlaw number one Pops is soaking it up beautifully. Lovely line through there, lovely little line through there. Oh, Ollie is just off the back at the moment of this one. Oh, Drew just getting a tyre on the gravel there. I think that's enabled number one Pops just to grab a couple of tenths and for Ollie to close up ever so slightly. Really, really great racing from these guys. Absolutely loving it. There's still yet another battle here. Look, Borky and Sim Racing. They might be battling for sixth and seventh. They are absolutely on it, really going for it. I thought Borky was going to get a run up the inside there on Sim Racing, but Sim Racing covering the line nicely. But Borky's got a beautiful line down the hill towards the chicane. Will he follow Sim Racing through? I don't think he's close enough to make a move. He's going to follow through, but Sim Racing goes a bit deep and he scampers across the grass. That is going to enable Borky to come through. I don't believe there was a touch or anything. I think that was just Sim Racing going a tad deep. At least that's how I would call that one. That's how it looked from me, from the commentator's box. So that's promoted Hulky up to 6th. He's 3 seconds behind Ollie. And will he be able to close? Who knows, because Ollie, Drew and Outlaw are in a gargantuan battle. They are battling and potentially slowing each other down. At the moment, it is Gamer Dan and Wills racing very close together. Wills has found some pace and he's closed up on Gamer Dan magnificently. I don't know whether Dan has had an issue out the front. We haven't seen it on the camera. And we are on lap number 5. And there is nothing between these two guys. Wills trying to do a move around the outside. Gamer Dan holding the tighter line. Wills maybe trying to do the undercut here. That won't really happen. You've really got to follow through these S's here. You can go side by side, but you will slow each other down and it can be dangerous. You risk going off. Wills not risking it. He's playing the long game here. As they come down to the fast right-hander again. Wills looking for a run around the outside. Neither of them using the curb to hook up to slingshot around. Gamer Dan keeping it well within the track limits. Defending slightly. That's giving Wills the opportunity to stay right on his back bumper. Wills jinking around a little bit. And Gamer Dan goes across the grass now. Gamer Dan with an advantage there. He outbroke himself. He's got a half-second penalty. Wills will have seen that. So all Wills needs to do now, really, is tuck in behind Gamer Dan. They're 5 seconds ahead of Drew. So I don't know if Wills is listening, but if I was Wills, I would just follow around behind Gamer Dan. Dan could slow the two of them up into Drew, but I don't think he will. He's a racer. He's always going to push. He's always going to push. So if I was Wills, I would just bide my time now and wait for that penalty to be served. There's no point trying a late lunge into a corner or a move that might cause some issues. So Wills is going to resume the lead. Well, he's going to take the lead, not resume the lead. He's going to take the lead and hope that Gamer Dan doesn't resume the lead. So what is the gap going to be? We won't really know until they've got down towards the end of this straight, I guess. It's about 0.7 of a second that Dan has lost. So he's lost a half a second plus about 3/10. It's gone to 0.8 at the moment. And Wills is actually pulling away. So it does look like that penalty hurts around here. Gamer Dan could be as much as a second behind. He closes slightly under braking there. Wills just being a little bit more conservative. Wills wants to bring this one home. I am loving this. I'm going to leave Wills because I'd love him to get a win. And I know that Gamer Dan is going to be pushing him right to the very end. Ollie is not going to be able to do anything about that. He's got his mirrors full of Drew at the moment, who is looking for the final podium spot. Drew all over the curbs there, but he kept it in the within the track limits, I think, that time. The Racing Soft tyres looking awfully worn on this Elantra, but they're all going to be in the same boat, depending on who has looked after their tyres best. I am leaving the front runners alone. Ollie and Drew, absolutely on it, the pair of them locked together in battle. We've got another battle going on behind. Sim Racing and Hulky, there's half a second between them, so they're going really, really well. But as we're coming up towards the line, who is it going to be? I just saw somebody in the grass there, but it is Wills Racing that is going to come across the line. Well done, my friend. That is a well-deserved win. Been a while coming. But Wills is going to get first. Gamer Dan second. Ollie is going to come across in third with Drew right on the line, and Outlaw number 1 pops. I don't know quite what was going on there, but there was nothing between them. Oh, that was tight. And then Sim Racing and Hulky just coming across the line together as well. So quite a few little personal battles in that one, which looked absolutely wonderful. And I didn't share that one. Never mind. I've got it. If anybody needs that one, you'll have to give me a shout. I forgot to share it. Wills Racing was your winner with a 143.315, 0.957 ahead of Gamer Dan, who got a 143.374. So Wills Racing not only with the win, but also the fastest lap. Ollie in third with a 147.710. Drew in fourth Number 1 Pops in 5th, Sim Racing 6th, and Borky in 7th. And look at the time between Drew and number 1 Pops. 0.455 and 0.478 with Sim Racing 0.492. Oh, a bit further back. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Wheels Racing, Gamer Dan and Ollie, congratulations to you. Very, 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 very well done. Right, we're going to head into the last one of the night. I want to run this race, even though I am starting to feel it a little bit. So we're just going to go into a practice and a race. 6 around Daytona. We're in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 for this one. And we'll get this one done, and then I will be calling it a day. Borky says, oh, sorry. Sim Racing just saying, sorry, Borky, didn't mean to hit you out of the hairpin. And Borky says, no, it was my fault. My wife changed the channel on me while I was driving by accident. Borky, you just blame the missus for messing up. That has got to be the excuse of the night. That is the excuse of the night. And Ollie's saying, send her to the naughty step, Borky. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Ollie's saying, lovely stuff, Drew. And Fraronel's just saying, the Italian Google Translate voiceover also says Julia. So I now know that it is the Alfa Romeo Julius. Thank you for letting me know, Fraronel. And yeah, good racing, that one. Very, very good racing. Right, okay, so we'll just get everybody in and then we'll see. We've got a few people joining us for this one. Big Gunner and Rachel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm not going to go through all the usual stuff. I'm just going to welcome them and we'll get this one going. So this race is going to start at 6 minutes past. I'm going on this one. 6 minutes past, so just over a minute to go. Drew's just saying, great race, Ollie. And number 1 Pops, I don't have this, only a couple of GR3s as I deleted all of them. Number 1 Pops, go in with something. I mean, Rachel's gone in for the 911 GT3 R992. Number 1, just grab any GR3. I don't care. I don't care tonight. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. And we got a few people that are jumping in now that are probably not going to go with the Corvette. Big Gunner says, we all using the same cars. Corvette, if possible, I'm going to say. If you have it. Big Gunner's going to buy it. It's cool. I will wait for Big Gunner. I'll wait for him to come back. Looks like number 1 Pops is going for the Porsche. Rachel's GT is going for the Porsche. And then we've got Ryder, Borky, and Big Gunner's just gone off to buy it. The Big Gunner's just left, so we'll wait for him to come back. Oh. Oh. God, some great racing this evening. Borky's championship race was unbelievable. It was brilliant. How that all changed at the end. No worries, Borky. No worries. How that all changed. Why is it the Americans decided to not run the American race? Borky, shame on you, my friend. Shame on you, my friend. I did this one for you. I put this one in here especially for you. God, my friend on the East Coast, he's bottled it. He's bottled it around Daytona. I'm pulling his leg. He's had a long night, a long night of racing as Borky tonight. He did the GT Championship. He's done the last couple of races. So, my friend, you do what you want to do, my friend. I am pulling your leg. Pulling your leg. I know how hard it is, and I also know how hard Hulky is working at the moment, and I can imagine that tonight has taken a lot out of him. Taken an awful lot out of him. Right, I'm just waiting for whoever it was to come back. I'm not going to bump them out, but we will go racing very soon. I've got Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wills, Drew, Ryder, Ness Sim Racing, Outlaw #1 Pops, Rachel's GT Racing is in, and Hulky's in. For those of you who don't know, Rachel runs her own YouTube channel. If you get a chance, look her up, go and drop her a like, say hello, tell her I sent you, and we'll all be good. Hulky's spectating, so I'm just waiting for that guy. I don't know who it was. Who was it? Who was it who left? Big Gunner. There we go. He's back. He's back. So Big Gunner's back. We will get this one going in just a moment. So we got a couple that aren't the Corvettes. Gamer Dan is in the Corvette, as is Ollie. Wills Racing, Drew. Ryder's gone for the Renault. Sim Racing's in the Corvette. #1 is in the 911. Big Gunner's in the Corvette. Rachel's in the 911. Hulky is going to be watching. We are going to be going racing. I'm going to wait until we get to the... what time did I say? 06. So we can get this one underway now. Hello, King. Welcome. Let's get this one underway. So we got a couple of people in slightly different cars. I have relented. Normally, I would have been like, no, you're only running the Corvette. But we only had a few PSR racers in. So I've let the others go. And of course, they didn't know what car we will be running. But for me, I will be interested to see which are the top 3 Corvettes. So the we got the 2 Porsches and the Renault will be going up against each other. And then we've got... let me get myself sorted out while I'm jibber-jabbering. We got Gamer Dan, Wills Racing, Ollie, Drew, and a few of the others all in the Corvette. They will be the ones that will be fighting for the places. The other guys are making up the numbers. I'm very grateful for them making up the numbers. But let's see how we go. Gamer Dan in the Dicky Bird livery. If Hulky was racing this, I guess he would be in the same one. Or Dan over the curb there, and that's Ollie and Wills Racing going through. So Wills has got himself right into the mix again. Gamer Dan hard on the brakes there to not get into the back of Wills. Awfully close, and #1 Pops right on the back bumper as well. Going really well. Drew's finding himself in 5th position at the moment. Big Gunner in 6th. Rachel is in 7th. And Sim Racing is in 8th. Out front it is Ollie. 0.6 ahead of Wills Racing, who's 0.2 ahead of Gamer Dan. 0.3 to #1 Pops, and then it is a second back to Big Gunner. Rachel right on the back bumper of Big Gunner. I was going to say it was half a second, but is Rachel going to get up the inside? Can't quite do it. The Corvette has got some grunt. The Corvette has really got some grunt. Sim Racing and Drew in 7th and 8th. And Ryder at the back in the Renault. I think the Renault is way off the pace for this one. The Corvette's a great car around here. I almost did the VGT, the new Corvette VGT, but I wasn't sure who was going to have it. That is a great one. I want to do a VGT night at some point. The only trouble with the VGTs, the Vision Gran Turismo cars, is that a lot of them in VR, they're not modelled inside, and people end up sort of sitting on top of their cars, and it's a bit off-putting. My favourite car in the game is the BMW VGT, closely followed by my favourite road car, which is the M2, as we see 3 wide going into the first corner. Oh, Gamer Dan thinking better of it. He tucks in behind. Wills goes a little bit deep into that one, which has let Ollie go through. Gamer Dan says, I'll have that place, and that puts Wills Racing just a few tenths of a second off the leading pack at the moment. The car spitting flame as he goes into that corner. as the Corvette is just ditching some unspent fuel. The engine working overtime. Lights are a-blaring. We're going to come down into the fast right, sorry, the slow right-hander. Then we're going to come down to the left-hander before we get on to the banked curve and that dreaded chicane. The chicane where you can make some serious time up. Looks like a car's been off on the grass in the background there, but no such issues for these three up front. Ollie, Gamer Dan and Wills. Ollie is just 0.4 ahead of Gamer Dan. Slipstreaming can be very, very key around here. Gamer Dan flashing the lights. Turning around to Ollie saying, oi, come back here, mate. Come on back here, I want to race you. But Gamer Dan with a purple. He's setting purple sectors. He's got a beautiful slipstream as we'll go into the bus stop. They flick it to the left, they flick it to the right, they flick it to the left, and they hope they come out of here without any penalties. Gamer Dan's lights still going, hell for leather. He's just 0.3 behind. He's going to be right on the back of Ollie as we go into the first corner. Will's just dropping back a little bit at the moment, but he is quite comfortable in the third place at the moment as Gamer Dan tries to have a look around the outside of Ollie. Slipstream coming into play. Lights are still a-popping. They brake hard into the first corner. Exhaust spitting flame out of the side in anger as these engines are roaring. They're trying to push so much fuel through. They can't drink it all, so it gets expelled out through the exhausts. Blue flame all over the place. Lovely overhead shot there. You can see that Will's just getting a little bit squirrely on the exit there. He's just off the back of the front too. And then the rest behind. But the battle out front is between Dan and Ollie. Just a little bit further back, Rachel is in fourth place in the Porsche. She's got Sim Racing hard on her bumper as well. Sim Racing and her Corvette spitting fire as well. All these Corvettes look like they are tuned to the inch of their life. They're like dragons spitting fire around this track in the night time. Rachel just coming around to get onto the bank curve. Can Sim Racing do anything about that? Well, Rachel's just set a blue there. She's setting 149.6s at the moment in the Porsche, whereas Sim Racing a 149.1. So the Corvette slightly faster, but Rachel's going quicker, 7 tenths up on this lap. So she's going really well into the bus stop. Jinx to the left, Jinx to the right on the exit there. Sim Racing following through. It's all good. We are not seeing Outlaw. Read your YouTube chat. Oh, it's not Rachel. Ooh. Rachel's GT Ray Home Mix. That's not me in your lobby. They came in under my stream last night. It's M-Tech. Oh, is it really M-Tech? Okay. Sorry, Rachel. Yeah, it's another one to... I think that's why I can't get into your lobbies, mate, because he'll have me blocked. So, that's fine. Thank you for letting me know. That's really horrible that he's doing that and using your name. Because you're such a nice person. And with your channel. And other people think that you're racing. That is just not on. Not on. Fortunately, there's no way that I can kick mid-race. And I don't want to... I don't want to kill it. Sim Racing, if you want to punt the car off in front of you, feel free. Just smash him to oblivion. And I don't often say it. Just take him out. I'd love it if he did. Just obliterate him. Oh, no, he's going to try it. He's obviously listening to the stream. Oh, M-Tech is listening to the stream. Interesting. Very interesting. The thing is, Big Gunner's in as well. I don't know whether Big Gunner is with M-Tech or not. I do hate it when people do go into people's streams pretending to be somebody else. It is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But sim racing's going well. Gamey Dan's out front. He's got Ollie right on his back bumper. Dan and Ollie, if you want to have some fun, feel free. All of the PSR guys, if you want to have some fun in this one, feel free. Fill your boots. Fill your boots. Oh, they're racing. They want to win. I'd love for them just to... Yeah, here we go. 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 Oh, ho, 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 ho. This is going to be fun. Here we go. The last lap is going to be cool. The last lap is going to be fun. Oh, oh. He's causing grief already. He's into Ollie. He's into Dan. Here we go. Come on, Drew. Get in there. Get in there, Drew. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I think Dan just took the wrong one out. Go on, Ollie. Get in there. Yeah. Here we go. He's off. He's off. Pin him in. Pin him in. Get him pinned in. Oh, he's ghosted. He's ghosted. He's running away. He's running away. Oh, it's all a great race has descended into chaos, all for the right reasons. Yes, nice one, Drew. Yes, man. Woo-hoo! Loving it. Loving it. Oh, some great entertainment. There we go, Rachel. We're doing it for you, my friend. We're doing it for you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Loving it. Loving it. Here we go. Oh. Rachel's saying, sorry, Mitch, but don't want you thinking it's me. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad you said, my friend. I'm so glad you said. So glad. Yeah, it's just not on. It's not on. He's absolutely toxic. Absolutely toxic. And I've got so many of his accounts that we've banned. Go on, Dan. Go on, Dan. One last push, guys. Come on. One last one. Oh, loving it. Round he goes. Round he goes. Woo. Oh, he's giving us some good entertainment. Some great entertainment. Oh, he's in the back of Ollie. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, what a shame. We killed that race because it was looking like an absolutely great race up front. They're all scrabbling to try and get on the back of him now. Big Gunner out front. It really doesn't matter who won, who lost on this one. It was who could get the biggest hit. For those of you that are wondering what's going on, that isn't Rachel GT Racing. Rachel runs a very respectful YouTube channel and some great races. This is our resident troll back to, that's why he's getting smashed to absolute oblivion. And we're having some, still having a go. Drew, he was ghosted. He just went straight through him. Drew went straight through him. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. This is how a community comes together and deals with this. We just have some fun. There's a video, Mitch. What fun. Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to rerun that one, guys, but I'm dead. I need to call it a night. I really, really do. Rachel, I'm so glad that you shouted that one out, and I apologise to everybody. It's really unfortunate, but that little person here is going to get blocked. Where do I block him? Well, I'm not following him. I want to block him. We will block. Guys, I would suggest that all of you block Rachel's -GT Racing. Rachel's GT Racing. Racing under a German flag. We've had a lot of trouble with him. He is now blocked, and that is it. So I apologise, guys, but there we go. And Rachel's saying, thank you, Mitch. Please, can you get the word out there? It's not me, please. Drop me a message on Discord. Thank you. I will do. I will do. If you want me to do a little video, I will do a video and put it out there. I'm not huge. I'm not big. But I can quite easily turn the back end of that into something for you. I will save the replay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the replay, Rachel. So if you want to do a something on your stream, then if you go into PSR, you'll be able to pick up the replay, and we can both do videos on it, and you can get the message out there on your channel too. Feel free to use my replay. Anything we can do to get rid of people like that, I nearly used a bad word there, anything we can do to get rid of people like that, all the better. If any of you want to use any of the footage from that replay, please feel free. Yeah, absolutely, Rachel. We've got to stick together. We have to stick together and get rid of, I'm going to say it, trash like this, because it's just absolutely, absolutely not on. Drew's calling him. Drew, careful. Drew, do not do that. It'll get you banned. Do not talk in the chat. Do not talk in the chat, guys. Don't do it. Do not use chat. Guys, do not use the chat. I can't say this enough. Do not use the chat. Do not use it. Please don't use it. Please don't use it. Yeah, don't. I'll get hold of Drew. I'm going to let him know. For those of you that also don't know, when you're in the chat, only use these chat commands. Do not use the free text. I only use the free text normally to welcome somebody, to let them know about registering, and to let people know when you're starting and finishing races. If you want to say anything to anybody or apologize to anybody or educate them, use the YouTube chat. If you put something derogatory in that top, you will get reported. And yeah, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And there we go. Rachel's just saying, don't do chat. Something happened to my chat last night as I shouted him. Please don't get into trouble because of him. Exactly. It's just not worth. It is not worth it. It really isn't. Right. I'm going to close out of there now. And as I said, please make sure that you have blocked that particular account. Don't block Rachel. Block that account with the German flag. And show us some love. Pop across to her channel if you would. Rachel's GT Racing. And she's got an amazing rig. She does some really nice lobbies, great lobbies. She often hosts lobbies on a Sunday. Rachel, if you're still around, can you throw your channel name up in the YouTube chat? Throw your channel name up in the YouTube chat or your URL so people can come and find you. And then, guys, please pop along and say hello. And she's had her fair share of difficulties with people like me, and it is absolutely no fun. But the other thing as well, please, guys, especially when you've got a troll like that in one of your races, do not go into the YouTube chat and call somebody out. Don't use anything derogatory about anybody, because they will be straight on. I'll tell you now, I was in a discussion where I had an Israeli in with me, and he was calling a lot of you guys that were racing with me, a lot of you guys, some of the old guys, because I'm going back quite a while, that you were racist and stuff. And we got on to, I was defending, saying they're not racist, there's no anti-Semitism, we don't do things like that around here. And this was all in PSN chat after the stream. I got reported for using the word anti-Semitism. That's how bad it is. And all of that was orchestrated. He drew me into that discussion so that he could get me reported. So please be very, very, very careful. If you're in PSN chat or the in-game chat, be very, very careful. It's the reason why we use Discord and YouTube chat and not PSN. That's one of the reasons why I don't do PSN. And secondly, use those pre-picked words. It's very, very, very important. And I can't get that message out enough. It's probably one that I haven't got out in a while. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night now because I'm way over. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. I apologise to the way that last one finished up, but it just had to be done. It had to be done. And I tell you now, the guys did the most amazing job. Thank you very much. And I will see you very soon. Rachel and I will get the word out, and you can guarantee probably at the end of this one, that MTech account will probably have been deleted and he'll moved on to another one. I don't know how many accounts he's got. Just hook us up in Discord if you want to know more, because I got a block list. Going to put that one on there in a minute. Take care. Bye for now, guys.